I know y'all, I'm so late. I'm so late and I apologize. So I'm going to wait until some people join. I know my live was supposed to have been at 3:30 and I was asked to join another live and that just took up a lot of my time. So while I wait for you all to join, let me go get my glasses. I'm stuck between this table and everything. Hello, Tony Africa. Thank you so much for the compliment. Thank you so much. How are you? What's going on, people? Where y'all calling from? Where y'all joining from? You're not calling. Where are you joining from? How's the weather? Because it's hot, daddy, hot where I am. I have to woosah. You know, if you've been a follower for a while or a subscriber or watching my videos for a while, then you all know that I have been going through hell in the past 3 years. And anytime I am on a live where the person that I am suing is on, um, my blood boils because if I was a man, then I would, but I'm not a man. So I have to let the legal system handle things. I do. So I'm trying to get my bearings together and calm my nerves because to lose $16,000 to have your name defamed, to have your character defamed, to be assaulted by someone's right hand man, that's a lot. That's a lot. Oh, you're from Nairobi, Kenya. Welcome. What's the weather like there? I know it's hot. It's Africa, so I know it's hot. That's why I love living in Arizona because it reminds me of the continent. I know that if I can deal with the heat here, I can deal with the heat there. Honestly, I love the heat, y'all, because I get to walk out in the sun. I get sun kissed. I get a little bit darker, thank God. And my body cries. That's the sweat. My body cries and I lose a little bit of weight. You know, most women are like, oh, even the skinny ones, like, oh, I want to lose this. I want to lose that. Oh, it's cold there. Really? It should be nighttime there, right? I know that when I went to Namibia, it was cold. I went in their winter because they are beneath the equator. So it was hot where when I lived on the East Coast, it was hot then. My mother was like, it's hot as Africa. And I was like, well, actually, it's cold here. It was the winter. So someone said to me, why are you wearing long sleeve shirts? I'm like, it's chilly here. So, yeah, thank you so much for joining Tony Africa. It's only hot on the coast like Mombasa. Ah, that's good to know. That's very good to know. So maybe when I live on the continent, I can travel to Nairobi, where it's chilly. Because, man, in the Gambia in October after rainy season, it is hot. We call it hot land. No, what do they call it? Hot toba. Hot toba. They don't call it October. They call it hot toba. It's hot. Oh, it's 2:27 a.m. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much for joining. So I'm just going to get started because I don't want to be here all night. I have some things that I need to do tomorrow. So I'm just going to get started. As you all have seen, this live is about the movie They Cloned Tyrone. I don't know if you all have seen this movie on Netflix, but it is so deep. And if you have not seen it, then you may not want to join this live because there are going to be spoilers. There are going to be spoilers. Me and my friend watched it last Saturday, and I'm still thinking about it. It's one of those movies that when you see something, your mind is still going, and that's how that movie is. You stayed in the Gambia for 3 months. How was that experience? I know when continental Africans travel to different countries in Africa, you all have the culture is basically the same. So you can go to another country, even if you don't speak the language, basically the culture is the same. So you all can still maneuver, right? Ever since I was younger, I always said I wanted to go to Africa. And my mother was just like, you don't know anyone that's been to Africa? But I've always been connected more to the continent than I've been connected to America. So this is why it's so easy for me to just blend in. People walk up to me in the Gambia, start speaking to me in Wolof. I would greet them back in Wolof, but that's as far as the conversation goes. I can't fully have a conversation because I'm not fluent in Wolof. But I think that's why it's so easy for me to just touch the ground and just move like the Gambians. It's not easy. And I do empathize with our brothers and sisters on the continent because it's hard. It's hard for African Americans. It's not easy for us in America, but it's definitely harder for our brothers and sisters on the continent because you all don't have the resources. Some countries are booming, but some countries don't have the resources that America has. And I empathize. That's why when I'm there, I love to walk around. I love to be around the Gambian people and learn more of the culture. I won't ever know everything, but the more I'm there, the more I learn. Hi, Alexis. How are you, beautiful? Thank you so much for the support. I saw your comments and the live. So thank you so much for the support. I appreciate you. You know, in the end, the truth is going to come out. Slowly, 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 the truth comes out. Chantel, commentary too. Greetings, sister. Slowly but surely, the truth is coming out. But I have to say this. One of the reasons why I don't hop on the lives when the person that I'm suing is on is because I am emotional. I'm angry. I'm trying to slowly let the anger go. But people that don't know me see this as, oh, she's just emotional. She's just emotional. Well, if you lose $16,000, you will be emotional as well. If your name was defamed for 3 years, your character, your business, your foundation, you will be emotional as well. So thank you so much to the people that are in this live now that were supportive in the other live. I've never been on, I think it's Dinus Amir. I've never been on his live as far as I remember. I've definitely never called in. I may have hopped in and, put in a comment, but I've never joined to be on his live so you can hear my voice. And I heard myself and felt myself getting emotional. This is why I do not hop on any lives where the CEO of Invest Relocate Africa is on, because he never lets me speak. And I don't want to be rude. Two people talking is, you're not going to hear anything, but I'm happy I did call in at the end and clarify some things. I've been to Africa multiple times, studied abroad in Namibia, Africa. That was my first time in 2012. I've been back and forth to the Gambia so many times, I can't even count. I forget. I'm like, wait, when I was there that time, did that happen? Or did this happen? Or did that happen? But I love going. But I am happy that I'm back in the States, because there are too many things that are going on in the Gambia right now that I need to protect my peace. I'm finally getting back to me, getting back into the gym, getting back to eating right, getting back to making my hair products. I'm finally getting back to me. And for many people, America is not what's up. But for me right now, it's my safe place. I never thought I would ever say that. It's my safe place. I don't want to keep dealing with these court cases, but I have to hold people accountable. If not, they're going to keep doing it to other people. Now, I do want to clarify one thing. It's good to hear that you're great, sister. I do want to clarify one thing. And I clarified this in Dinus Amir. Am I pronouncing his name properly? I hope I'm pronouncing his name properly. But I called in and I wanted to clarify one thing. And when I said about the air condition, I'm not one of those people that I got to have air conditioner, I got to have the comforts. That's not me. I hit the ground in the Gambia and I move like the Gambians. And I'm okay with that, because when I come back to America, I'm more humble. And it's like that when I go to any country. When I went to Cuba, when I went to Mexico, it's like that when I go to any country that's not considered a first world country. Cuba, they say it's a third world country. Honestly, I don't look at Cuba as, man, Cuba popping. They're it's 90, what is it? The 97 percentile? Their literacy rate is in the 97 percentile. I can't say that about America. So me talking about the air condition and the internet, that wasn't about comfort. That was about what was being sold, what was being promoted. People, like I said in the live, people were saying they need internet because when they come there, they still need to work. People were saying that they had asthma, so they needed air conditioning. So if I say to you all, hey, come stay with me, I got air conditioning, I got internet, I have this, I have furniture. If you're paying me, I need to follow through with what I'm saying that I'm selling to you. That was my point. That was my point. Okay, so Tivani, hello, sister, welcome. Hi, Tay. I've only been to one country and still can't believe that beautiful experience. I would love to visit maybe Ghana and South Africa next. I empathize with the Gambians on the continent as well. I want my feet to touch as many countries on the continent as possible. You see my earrings? It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Hi, Miriam. Good evening, sis. Looking beautiful as always. Thank you so much. Yes, my Takar sister. Oh, you saw the my reveal for my African ancestry. Someone sent me a picture of myself and someone else, and I was like, wow, we got the same ears. We look alike. He didn't get a chance to verify who that person was, but we definitely looked alike. It's funny though, right? We're more connected than we are disconnected. We're more alike than we are. We're more alike than we realize. And many times there is a disconnect between Africans born in the West, whether it's America, the UK. There is a disconnect, but we're more alike than we are different. It's just that many of our brothers and sisters on both sides, in America and on the continent, we need to be able to see the other side of what the person is going through, to feel what the other person is going through. You know, so many people in America say, oh, I don't mess with them Africans because they're disrespectful. They come to America, they do this. Many do. But we also don't know what they're told when they go to immigration. Stay away from those Black Americans if you know what's best for you. You know, and what we're told here, oh, they don't like you over there. But while they disconnect us, other nationalities are thriving. And we're still at the bottom of the totem pole. I'm African first. Before American, I was born in America. That's why I identify as an African born in America. But some people say they're not African. I'm Black. I said, where's the Black country? We deal in nations, not crayons. Children know that. I'm only one person. Everyone gets emotional. Yeah. Thank you. Alexis Fowler says, I knew he was going to lie and had the nerve to put his innocent auntie on a panel. Well, what's funny is you all know that there's an ex parte that was filed by a motion filed by the judge where he can't leave the country. So it's funny that he's in the States. So when he said he was going to leave and he didn't leave, oh, I'm just going to record this. But that's why I tend to not hop on lives and say things, because when I say something, the first thing he wants to use that against me in court. But I can do the same thing because he says stuff as well. But I want to know what the judge is going to say when they know that he left. I'm waiting to hear that. Because to violate emotion, yeah, Justice Jaite is no joke. He is no joke. They said he is strict, but he's fair. So I want to see. I really want to see what is being said. Afia in Africa. Good afternoon, Queen Sister. Alexis Fowler says, I told people like Bag to tell you to come on. Yeah. I did get quite a bit of notifications and I was getting ready for my live. And I did hop on, as you know, the people that weren't on the live, I did hop on, and you know, Quasi just overtalked me, you know, because he doesn't want the people to know the truth. And Dinah Samir has a huge platform. So that's why I called back to clarify certain things. I know you can pay someone and get stuff done in Africa. That's one of the things I love about Africa, because in America, many of us don't have enough money to pay anybody off, right? But I wanted to be clear that I sent $500 to be transported from Senegal to the Gambia. And then he kept my money, rented a car, want to ball out, but then I had to pay to get to the Gambia. Then what the heck did I give him $500 for? So he talks about these 20 Gambians that work with him. I saw these people. These are street people, y'all. These are not business people. These are not educated folk. This is why they never said anything this is why they never told the truth. Because the people that are street people, that are bumsters and bumettes, those are the ones that will do and say anything for a little Dalasi. This is why they never said anything. If he was working with true business people, they would not have been affiliated with him at all. But now he throws his business partner under the bus. But he also reached out to Afrodamus Report. Y'all heard that in the Afrodamus Report's own voice. You heard him say that Kwesi came to him with this same business model. But he said, you don't have to do anything. You could just be the face of it. That's what he used our Kathy for. But I'm not going to sign my name to something without knowing what's really being done. Art Kathy sat in front of the camera, and what did she do? Oh, this is this. Look at this, y'all. Look at that, y'all. And then when we get there, I didn't want to meet her. But why are you signing up for something and putting your name on it and promoting it when you don't even know what's really going on? And what happened? She get literally slapped back to the States. So these people need to be held accountable for their actions. We shouldn't have to go through this when we're trying to go back home. Kwesi's auntie said, we need to go back to Africa. Well, that's what I tried to do. And your nephew scammed all these people. But that's probably why he hopped off. I don't have to sit and lie. Yes, I do get emotional because I'm angry. I lost 16,000, but thank God I have this. And as long as I have breath in my body and I live in America, we know we can make money. And God is opening doors. I can't wait. I can't wait to share something with you all, but I have to wait until it's official. But I have a meeting on Saturday, and I pray that the ancestors and God opens the door, that this will be a great opportunity for me. So I'm going to keep doing what I have to do. It's just fighting these legal battles are stressful. This is why I never wanted to go to law school, because it's stressful. And now I have to, but I'm happy that I had the experience of suing people, of suing corporations and things like that, because now I know what to do. Most people don't know. Most of my friends are like, girl, I would have let that go a long time ago. I can't. Someone has to fight. Someone has to have, we all don't have the same spirit, but I know that I have that fighting spirit, and I definitely have that fighting spirit when it comes to court. I love the law, right? And I'm going to tell you why. I love the law because I can be able to use the law against people that break it. If I understand the law, then I'm like, okay, so I can build a case based on this. You broke the law this way. That's why I say I love the law, because you can hold people accountable. A lot of times we don't get anything through civil courts. I mean, through criminal courts, but there's always civil court. And civil court is always about money. So when you take my money, I take you to civil court, so I can get my money back. Hey, if you never go to jail, that's fine, because a lot of times people, money is their God. That's their God. Oh, you take my money? You sue someone civilly and take their money, they will remember you for life. They will remember you for life. Oh man, that girl took my money. Yes. But maybe it'll make them think about not doing that to the next person. Tivani, Tay, are you a Zumba instructor? So I was certified. But Zumba is a great thing to do. But when it comes to business, I don't like the way they do business. So I'm not a Zumba instructor anymore. But I decided that I did want to start teaching aqua fitness classes, aqua fitness, aqua aerobics, because a lot of people that follow me are of the older generation. And they're like, girl, we can't be doing what you're doing. So I will be bringing fitness classes to my channel. Yeah, I will be bringing fitness classes. They won't be super long, and I won't kill you. There will be different levels, but I just want people to get healthy. You taught over 10 years. Oh, look, I love Zumba. I absolutely love Zumba. A lot of the older people, they are thinking that Zumba is going to die out because a lot of the young people don't want to do Zumba, but now they have Zumba Strong, which is more, it's dance, but it's not so much dance. It's more, not weightlifting, but it's harder. So I think that is more focused on the younger people. But they have Zumba for children, right? So I love when I see the children going to Zumba classes. They don't get all the dances, but they're getting exercise. We know that a lot of our children are overweight. They're sitting there playing the games. They're not going outside to play anymore, many. So I love Zumba. I expect all that to be there. Okay, so I'm sorry. I'm behind on these comments. And Alexis said he told on himself. He did. He did. So if you listen to Kwesi and if you listen to Shrek, they double talk themselves. They'll say one thing and then they'll say another. But Tay Tay don't have to lie. My story has been the same from the beginning. Why? Because it's the truth. Shrek said I lied about my robbery. Why would I lie about being robbed? Who does that? Who does that? For likes, views, and subscribers? Look, y'all, Tay Tay's not that desperate. But it came out. And there's a prosecution case. Right? Shrek said that I lied about being assaulted and posted all these videos of me being assaulted. It's still hard for me to look at because I went through that. But he's being prosecuted, is he not? They had court on July 26th. We have court this month. It's August already. So in the end, I'm going to stand up for truth regardless. Regardless. So many people have a platform, they have YouTube channels, but we do have a level of responsibility. We can't just be on here just talking nonsense. I'm going to speak for myself. I have a level of responsibility. This is why I tell you all the truth when it comes to what happens in Africa. Someone said, you should have never said anything about your robbery. But how would that have been fair? I'm showing you all the good parts and never show you the bad parts. That's not fair. For people to say, oh, Tay Tay lied. She didn't tell us this. I'm not going to do that to you. I'm not going to do that to you. Yes. Thank you, sister. It could have been so many different people's stories. You know how many messages I get behind the scenes and comments saying, thank you, you saved me money? But if you all remember the video, I don't know if it was on Phoenix channel, but we were in a bedroom. It was Kwesi in the middle, Phoenix on one side, I'm on the other side. And Kwesi started saying, oh, Shantae got here, so you need to bring your family. So there was a woman that had, I think she has 3 or 4 children. And he was telling her to come. Now, if the borders were closed and you had to maneuver, how would that have been fair for her and her children? This is why I say he has to take responsibility for what he has done. He could have waited until the borders weren't closed. But when I get there and I see what you're promoting and that's not what's actually true, of course I was going to tell you all, because I didn't know where the money was going. He said he had the money. I had the money for internet, this, that, and the third. And him and Phoenix got into an argument over the internet. I did not know where the money was. But when we all sat down, I said, okay, so you're going to get internet? Where's the money? This, that, and the third. And he immediately went on the defense because the money was gone. He said, oh, now we're working on a cash basis. That's not what you told the investors. You told the investors that the money was going to be in a bank account. So this is why we're in court. This is why we're in court, because what was told to us is not what I saw when I got there. So this is why we're in court. Now, it's just my case. No one else has stood up and taken him to serious crimes or filed a lawsuit against him. But that's fine, because I have a lot of the evidence. Now, I wish RJ Mahdi really did. You heard him in the live. He's like, oh, well, let's sit down. We should have sit down. We should have talked about this, that, and the third. But you're not a court of law. And that's what I said in the comments. He's not a court of law. What can he have done? That's his friend. Did Kwesi not stay with him when he was in Senegal? So how can you be biased when you're his friend? This is why when the Negropian, TUN, come on my channel, tell your story again. I don't need to keep telling this story. YouTube is not the court of law. We need to handle this within the legal system. And that's what I did. That's what I did. And that's what I'm continuing to do. I wish Phoenix didn't vanish off YouTube though. I don't blame her for leaving YouTube because I feel bad for Phoenix because she didn't come to Africa the right way. You know, people need to make sure that their finances are right before they come to Africa. No American, no one born in the West want to go to Africa and be poor. That's not, we don't want that. Our continental Africans don't want that. But for us that were born in a different system, that's why people are saying it's so hard. It's so hard. Yes, it's hard if you don't have an income. Yes, it's hard if you didn't prepare for this. But I think she left to protect her mind. I don't agree with her lying and saying that I was trying to smuggle weed and drugs. I do not agree with her daughter saying these things. I do not agree with them keeping my $700, but that's water underneath the bridge, right? That's water underneath the bridge. They know what they've done, and the universe is going to handle them properly. I don't have to do anything. Tay is going to continue to live her life. I'm going to continue to live my life and walk this path. That's my journey. So it's sad that so many of us were trying to go back to the continent, like Kwesi's aunt said, but her own nephew caused all this riffraff in the Gambia. And now Americans are looked at, y'all bringing this nonsense. Well, let's keep it real, Gambians. If y'all lost money, what? I see how some Gambians act when they're owed money. I told y'all I'd be in the streets with them, right? I'd be around the Gambians. And no one is going to be happy if they're scammed out of money. When I go to court, I'm the only American in there. What them Gambians be going off on each other? They from land scams to someone saying that they were supposed to fix a car, they didn't fix the car, and Gambians that have lived abroad come back and they taking people to court. It's not just Americans. It's too many scammers out here taking advantage of people, and only a few of us are going to fight within the courts of law. Some of us handle things in the streets. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to the Gambia to be in how to? Heck no. No, not Tay. I do not want to stay at the 5-star hotel. So I handle things the way I'm supposed to handle things within the courts. So it's just a shame that Art Kathy and Kwesi Boyd went there and this happened. It's really a shame. And then Art Kathy ran and he's like, oh, she gained 16,000 subscribers. Yeah, she gained us based off of what she was showing and saying what was going to be done. But she knew behind the scenes, none of those things were actually happening. She just wanted money for her own pocket. Now, whether they were dealing with drugs or whatever, I saw weed being smoking and I saw alcohol being drunk. And an overindulgence of alcohol, right? But where people started saying that drugs was being done, that came from the Invest Relocate Africa workers. Adama, they're from Sierra Leone. Adama and Saudi, they're both from Sierra Leone, but they were in the Gambia. Adama said that she walked in, she didn't knock on the door. Our Kathy was in the room. She said she didn't knock on the door. She opened the door and our Kathy was sniffing coke. She was like, oh, sorry, Mom. And our Kathy said, Adama, what the F? These are your own workers saying this. G said that he bought coke for Kwesi and another YouTuber. I don't know. I'm just going by what these people told me. So that's that. Early YouTubers had people thinking they could come to Africa with 5,000. Our Kathy was telling people that you can rent these compounds for $500 a month. Now, maybe before African Americans, maybe before the Gambians got the word that African Americans were coming, because it was like, the African Americans are coming. The African Americans are coming. Let's jack the price up. I mean, they jacked the price up of everything. They jacked the price up for your residential ID now. It's no longer under, it was like 48, 49. It wasn't even that high. It was between 4,000 and 5,000 Dalasi at a $50 Dalasi exchange rate, which is less than $100. It's between $90 and $100. Now the exchange rate is about 59.60. Some people give you 61.62, depending on the day. Now the residential ID card to renew it is almost 8,000 Dalasi. That's almost $200. Thank God. I'm not going to say thank God. Unfortunately, the Dalasi is dropping. So now the U.S., the Americans, we get more money for our dollar. We get more Dalasi for our $1 US. So that's good on our side, bad for the Gambians. But we don't have any control over that. I'm just grateful I'm getting a little bit more Dalasi, right? But this didn't have to turn out this way. Look at how many Americans are still going to the Gambia. They could have really made money, but I don't know what they were thinking. I wouldn't have handled it like that. I would have been furnishing these compounds, making sure that I'm putting in what I'm selling on artkathyhills.com. If I say it has air conditioning, if I say it has a refrigerator, if I say it's furnished, if I say it has high-speed internet, I would have been making sure that my word was my bond. But everyone is not me. Everyone is not truthful, and that's what we're seeing. And it's unfortunate. So, love you, sister. I see how tired you are of this. This is not what we expected. I am tired, but I can tell you this, Alexis. Things are changing. A storm only lasts but for so long. And I feel like I have lipstick in my teeth. Sorry, y'all. Things are changing. The people that have done horrible things to me, I am seeing karma right before my eyes. Y'all see my nails are growing. Tete no longer biting her nails. I'm getting back to me. The stress is slowly leaving. This is why I love Zumba. I love Grow with Joe. I don't know if y'all are subscribed to Grow with Joe on YouTube, but the girl is doing the daggone thing. And this is why I lift weights. This is why I walk. This is why I swim. Because this is how I keep my stress level down. And it's great. No one's life is perfect. Even the people that are rich, the celebrities, no one's life is perfect. But how I learn how to deal with my stress of life is fitness. I'm not like Shrek. I'm not going to get on here and start talking about people and this, that, and the third. Da, 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 da. No. Well, how is that going to help me? No, I want happy endorphins. Go to the gym, work hard, be happy. You can walk out, they be like, oh, you an ugly hoe, right? No one has ever said that to me. But, they be like, you ugly. I'm like, whatever. I just finished working out. I'm not thinking about you. Because it releases these happy endorphins where it's just like, it's like if someone smoked ganja, right? How did Cat Williams say? You sitting there stressing, oh my God, I don't have money to pay my light bill, this, that, and the third. He said, you take a hit of that and man, F them lights, right? I got some candles I've been waiting to burn. It puts a little forget it in your system. That's what fitness does for me. And it's a part of my life and will always be a part of my life. I've been doing this since 2006 and I'm grateful for it. I do have some haters. Oh, she used to look like she was whatever away from a burrito. Whatever, B. Whatever. You can say whatever you want. Because Tay Tay is working on the things that she wants to change. Now, I always work out, but it's what I eat. Sometimes I'm like, ooh, I want French fries. And then I have French fries Monday, and then I have it Tuesday, and then I have it Wednesday, and then I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting fat. So I just have to watch what I eat. Tonight, hopefully, I'm going to throw some red lentils. For if there is anyone that has some Ethiopian dishes, or if there are any Ethiopians in this live, that the meal is called Misor Wat, Misor Wat, Wat. And honey child, them red lentils is delicious. And I made some last month. And what happened? Every time I made my plate, I forgot to take a picture. So let's get into this live. I do want to share something with you all before we start talking about the movie. Yes, Alexis. Oh my gosh. When I make it, I will share the recipe from. So I look up recipes and then I make them mine. I don't necessarily, I go by the recipe as to how to make it, but the ingredients, I mix them up based off of what I eat and what I have in my refrigerator and what I have in my kitchen. But I've always done that. The recipe is just a template. And then I just make it mine. I'm like, okay, well, let me do this and let me do that. And, for those that are in the kitchen that can cook, that are cooking, we know how to switch things up. No, I'm not going to switch. I'm going to change that ingredient. And a lot of times I just love vegetables. I just love, love, love vegetables. So I throw it in my crock pot and I let it cook overnight. And in my sleep, I'm like, oh my God, that smells good, right? So, have you all seen They Cloned Tyrone? Has everyone seen this movie? Put that in the comments. Let me know if you've seen the movie. Okay, I just want to get my notes together. It's the new Netflix movie with Jamie Foxx, Tiana Parrish. Tiana Parrish is beautiful, y'all. Alexis, you haven't seen it? Oh my God. It was the number one movie. I don't know if it's still number one movie on Netflix, but it's been a number one movie for days, I think weeks. Tiana Parrish, she got that beautiful natural hair. She just had a baby. She just got married. So this movie was done before she got married. And then, let me see. I don't know the other guy's name. Let me see his name. John Boyega. John Boyega. So he looks familiar. I'm not really sure what other movies he was in, but he definitely, he was in A Woman King. That's where I saw him from. Okay. He's been in the Star Wars movies, but I've never seen any Star Wars movies. Antoinette Forbes. You haven't seen it either? Y'all have to see this. So I'm going to give some spoilers, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk about the movie, but most importantly, I'm going to talk about how the movie correlates with what's going on in life. So I'm not happy that I was on that live, but I am happy that I was on that live, if y'all understand what I'm saying. And it's going to connect to this live. So it's amazing how the ancestors and the universe works. Antoinette, sister, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. God bless you. God bless your family. God bless your finances. So They Cloned Tyrone, like I said, is those three actors. There's someone else in it. The dude from 24. I don't know his name. What's his name? Kiefer Sutherland. He was in that as well. David Alan Grier is in this movie. Now, okay, y'all. Don't judge me. I did not know that David Alan Grier was Pam Grier's son. Is that true? Is that true? So the person that was looking at the movie with me, she was like, "Yeah, that's Pam Grier's son." I was like, "Wait, they do have the same last name, but it never connected that David Allen Greer is Pam Grier's son." Totally didn't know that. So what age was I when I learned that? 44. So you said Jamie Foxx. So yes, Jamie Foxx is in the movie. John Boyega from The Woman King in the Star Wars movie. Tiana Paris. Tiana was in, it was a Showtime show called Survivor's Remorse. That show was everything. That was LeBron James. LeBron James executive. He was the executive producer for Survivor's Remorse. That was an excellent show. What's her name? Pam from Tashina Arnold was in that. She played his mother. And then I don't remember the other woman's name. But Tashina Arnold played in that. And the other guy from Sister. I don't remember his name either. I follow him on Instagram. My brother and sister-in-law, they be like, oh yeah, they be throwing out them names. I don't remember the people's name. I'm like, I remember your face, but not your name. So, oh, Brian Tyree. I think that's the guy. He was on another show. What was that show called? Ray Donovan. Everybody need a Ray Donovan in their life, just like everybody need a Pote. So yeah, Tiana Paris was in Survivor's Remorse. Unfortunately, Survivor's Remorse, they just dropped the show, and I was really upset. They didn't even let them close out the show. They just cliffhangers. I was like, really? Y'all disrespectful. So let me go into these notes before I go into the movie. Okay. So y'all know the song, Ain't No Love for the Heart of the Wicked. Right? It's ain't no love for the heart of the city. Ain't no love for the heart of time. Okay, so I make up my own words, y'all. Sometimes I'll be singing songs and I'm like, that they were like, that is not the song. Those are not the words to that song. So I just went ahead and switched the song, switched the words. Ain't no love for the heart of the wicked. Ain't no love for the arrogant. Right? Now let's talk about I want to talk about some things about love and about us as a people. So when you love yourself, it shows in your actions towards yourself and others, right? When you love yourself, what's in your heart is going to come out. It's going to show how you treat others. It's going to show how you talk about others. All of that's going to show. I told you all about self-love. For me, self-love is me hitting the gym and focusing on my nutrition to be the best version of myself as possible. I don't want to live this life over again. I want to move on to my next life. I don't want to do this again. Send me back to Earth about 3,000 years from now. I don't want to do Earth again when I leave this body. I don't want my spirit to have to come back here again because I didn't do what I was supposed to do and finish in this life. Now, many people may not believe in other lives, but for me, I do. If we live in a galaxy and there's billions of galaxies, I refuse to believe that when this life is over, I'm just going. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I do believe that we live multiple lives, but that's my opinion. Nobody else's. That's my opinion. And no one has come and told me any different. No one's told me, hey, you better live your life right. We down here burning. Or you better live your life right. We in heaven. I don't know. None of us know. We just know what we're taught. But I believe that we live multiple lives. Certain things, deja vu, I'm like, I feel like I did this before. And when that happens, I stop and I look around and I'm like, okay, what are you trying to show me? But that's what I do to try to be connected to the universe and what's going on around me. So you spew love instead of hate towards others and yourself. Like I said, when you love yourself, I travel to enjoy myself. People don't Y'all know there's certain things that I'm going to talk about, right? When you travel to enjoy yourself, you don't sit back and make up stories and lies about others. When you love yourself, this is not something that you do. When you love yourself, that is a stab, and I don't care. You don't allow your teeth to look like a broken fence, then hate on people who take care of their teeth. Shrek, we talk about you, boo, right? But this is what happens when you love yourself. Now, when I get into the movie They Clone Tyrone, y'all gonna understand why I'm saying certain things, because this is why people behave. You're gonna see why people are behaving the way they're behaving. When you don't love yourself, that shows as well in how you treat others and speak about others. You allow people that do love themselves to live rent free in your mind, body, soul, and spirit. This is why I don't focus on the person that was on the live. I can't. Why? I love myself. Karma is a Stella. Y'all know who Stella is. That's my female dog. Karma is a Stella. So whatever these people put out, they're going to get back in return. I'm just doing the work. Faith without works is dead. I can't have faith that these people are going to be held accountable if I don't do my part. Unfortunately, when you don't love yourself, people lie awake at night and daydream on how to make the people that they see loving themselves their lives a living hell. We see that. I see that in my life. The hate, the videos that are being made about me, whatever. You keep talking about me, it just gets me subscribers. Thank you. Thank you. But after a while, Tay going to get tired of it, and I'm going to fight back, and that's why I did the bottom rung video. I mean, I can expose people just the way they're trying to expose me or lie about me. I can do the same thing. It's just that sometimes I have things going on in my life. No, all the time. I have things going on in my life that's positive, and I don't have time to be sitting around worried about no Shrek. Why? What is she doing to my life? What positivity is she bringing into Tay-Tay's life? Not nothing. I know that's a double negative. Not anything. So I'm not going to let this senior citizen live rent free in my mind. I'm going to say what I have to say, and I'm going to keep it moving. But it's just crazy to me that she's so obsessed with me and she's never met me. She talks about Africa. Oh, I'm going to have this. I'm going to have that. But when you go there, all you do is complain. We don't see you walking the streets. You're a teacher like I. We don't see you trying to use your platform to help the students. No, we just see you talking about the beautiful bag nonstop. Are you jealous that they have over 26 acres of land? Are you jealous that they built their home? Right? So when they go there, they don't have to stay in a guest house. They don't have to stay in rent a home, a compound. They have their own. Are you jealous that they have this beautiful garden? I see it all as jealousy. And it's for what? They clone Tyrone. I said this in the other video, but we know that, this person used their lunch break to make videos and take notes on how to attempt and destroy these people's lives, not realizing that the people that they hate are going to shine no matter what. They're going to shine no matter what, because they are the epitome of sunshine. Myself, I'm not always sunshine. Sometimes I'm a storm. But when you love yourself, you're going to spew sunshine. You're going to spew light. I always wonder why people are just like, they're just drawn to me. I'm like, oh, I'm a hermit crab. Please leave me alone sometimes, right? But no matter what, my energy, my spirit, people are drawn to me at the gym, at the store that I'm at. It's just like, someone walked up to me. I was in the store the other day. We have 2 projects that we're working on, and the owner just came back. And the store has been busy because everybody's so happy that the owner is back. So when I walked up, I saw this woman. She's an elder. And I was like, hello, I'm Tay-Tay. Nice to meet you. She was like, I've been waiting to meet you. And I said, she told me her name. And then I said, you're a vendor, right? Which one is yours? Which store is yours, right? And she was like, I'm so and so and so and so. I said, well, I've been waiting to meet you, right? Because she has some beautiful jewelry. These people are so talented. I'm not talented to create the things that they create, but I like to see people's talents. I really like to see people's talents. And she was just like, I've been waiting to meet you. And we talked. And then the people that came in, somebody invited me to come and do a class at their pool, right? So, yes, Alexis, people will try to dim your light. There are people that are energy vampires. And I never really understood that until I was around certain people. And they just try to steal your light and dim it because they have so much darkness. But what we know is darkness cannot withstand light. So when they try to do it and they're around you, it's still not going to work. Your light, no one can dim your light. Your light is your light, and you're going to shine no matter what. We just can't let people that are negative and dark overshadow us and try to push what they have on us. We can't allow that. And it's hard. It's easier said than done. But that's why we have to find things that makes us happy. Because the storm is always going to come, but we have to weather that storm. And as I'm telling you that, I'm having like a moment because I am speaking life into myself. I have to weather this storm. 3 years ago, it was hell. Then I'm trying to get my life together and started the foundation. I'm like, okay, so I'm focusing on this. Then they start attacking that. Then I get robbed. Then I go to Juliet's. I get invited to Juliet so I can be safe. And then she starts her nonsense and her malarkey, right? And I'm like, who goes to Africa to scam? Why would you do that? I don't understand. So when people say, are you going to purchase land? Not until I understand the process. Not until I go to my lawyer and say, hey, so let me take notes. And then I'm going to take my little happy behind to the land planning and all these different places from the notes that he has given me and understand it myself. Go and talk to the Gambians myself. They speak English. English is the universal business language. And understand it myself. So many people don't have the opportunity to go to Africa. So they look at people like Black Sid and other people and they buy land, right? I think African Pickaninny was selling land. They buy this land because they're like, oh, that's cheap. But none of these people are from the Gambia, right? Now, if Gambians are hesitant to buy land from Gambians, shouldn't we be hesitant to buy land from someone that's not Gambian? So now all these people are like, I got scammed. You know, I don't know, I can't build. I got to stop building because I don't have my papers. So from our mistakes, that the people that you all are seeing that's going back and forth to the continent, you know, the Happy Companion is there, myself, Bag, I'm back and forth. I'm not there all the time, but I'm back and forth. But you all have seen my experience. You all, I pray that you all will learn from my experience. I pray that you all will learn from my experiences. You know, because it shouldn't be this hard with us going back to the continent. It really should not. But other people that have gone there with darkness in their hearts are making it hard for us. So we have to see through it. Follow the people that are sharing things. Sisters International is giving away a lot of information. Follow them. I know many of you all are. But don't just listen to the Gambians either. Right? Learn for yourself. See it for yourself. Go and visit when you can. And don't send money like I did. Because y'all see what's going on. It could have turned out perfect. But when you're dealing with imperfect people, we're all imperfect. But when you're dealing with dishonest people, this is what happens. unfortunately. Um, some people think that YouTube views equate to love, and it doesn't. Some people just like watching nonsense. I have no desire to watch any of the love and hip hop shows, right? None of them. Black Ink, I have no desire to watch them because I see what it does to our people. But some people like watching those shows and they say it's just for entertainment. So some people watch Shrek and they say, oh, it's just entertainment. And some people just watch Shrek just to go in there and curse her out, right? To each their own. But views does not equate love, especially when you're just spewing hate. So when one has never been loved, you make up lies about others because you have no idea what love looks like, right? Some women that are my age and older are falling for the okie doke. I'm not saying that they have never been loved, but maybe they don't know what love looks like. Some of our continental men and women will tell you anything, but we also know a phone conversation is totally different from being around this person for X amount of time. That's when you really see the truth. That's when you really see the truth about a person, when you are around them. And I'm not saying don't take a chance, but I just say take a chance and don't jump off the cliff. I love him. I love her. Mm-mm. Don't do that. Be smart about it. Keep your mind and your heart and your ears open. If you feel something wrong, we have women's intuition. When you feel something wrong, pay attention to that. I wish I did. Right? I did walk away a few times, but then here come the family member. Blah 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 blah. I should have stuck to my guns. But hey, maybe that was my journey, and some people needed to be held accountable for their actions so they won't do it again. I don't know what these people were out there doing. I wasn't there. But I know that there are a lot of robbing, stealing, killing, stabbing. It's out of control since Uncle Yaya is not there anymore. And unfortunately, I don't think he's coming back. They said that, I guess the human rights people are looking at him in Equatorial Guinea. So he's looking to go somewhere else. I'm sorry, Uncle Yaya. I honestly wish that you were still in the Gambia, because Gambians will say, when did you start coming to the Gambia? I'm like 2020, around COVID. And they were like, oh man, you saw the worst side of the Gambia. They were like, before that, the Gambia was popping because people felt safe. You could leave $1 million on the street, come back, the $1 million was there. Why? Because Uncle Yaya put the fear of God. He put the fear of Allah in their hearts. But now they're just doing whatever they want to do. Gambians are saying that they're scared. They was like, man, this is horrible. That's why everybody trying to get out. That's why everybody, not everybody, but when some people meet you, they will tell you anything. Oh, I love you. You don't even know my name, but you talk about some, you love me, right? They will say, I love you, because they think, oh, if I tell you I love you, then you're going to believe me and I'm going to be able to put it down and you're going to bring me to America. I'm like, I don't know who does that, but that ain't Tay-Tay. Mm-mm. So when you have never been loved, you create a cycle of abuse towards yourself, your children, and others. When you have never been loved, you start speaking death about others, which is actually how you feel about yourself. We see this in certain agents of destruction. I'm not just talking about Shrek. I said agents, plural. We see that. We see that with R. Kathy. We see that with multiple YouTubers. Not everyone, but we do see that. And why? When we talk this unity. Sound like an African when I did that, right? But it's funny because African Americans, we are quick to, we suck our teeth in a second. When you have never been loved, unfortunately, people align themselves with criminals. With criminals. Shrek made all these videos about me. She wasn't robbed. She wasn't this. She wasn't that. But she wasn't assaulted. This, that, and the third. She got jungle justice. Who promotes a woman being assaulted by a man? Who? And you're a woman. Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe she's not a woman. Maybe she's a cis. I don't know. I have no I have no idea. But it's just not right. Oh, Miriam, you saw the movie. Cool. It's just not right. But she has no love for herself, and she's aligning herself with criminals. I'm not doing that. Because once I realize you are not who you say you are, yeah, get away from me. I don't want you around me. If you are a criminal, get away from me. Because I might be tempted to use your services. No, I'm just joking. I might be tempted to use your services, but I'm not. You know, people do something for you and then they'll snitch on you. Then you'll be like, damn, now we both locked up, right? When you didn't receive love growing up, you become bitter and begin stalking, harassing, and spewing hate on those receiving and giving love. Now, I want to talk about this and we're going to get into the movie. When you're not being loved properly by your man or mates. What's going on here? Oh. I plugged the computer up and never cut on the power source. Now, I don't watch Shrek's channel, right? So someone told me, they were like, oh yeah, she's talking about she doesn't do polygamy. So you're a woman from the West, but I mean, how much does she really know about the Gambia if you only go there once a year? How much do you really know about your mate if you only go there once a year? Now, I know people that are married to Gambians and they have either bought a compound, built a compound, rented a compound, or whatever. When they go back to the Gambia, they stay with their mate. If certain things aren't what they are accustomed to, they make those changes. That's your mate. So making changes that are better for you, like solar panels, a generator, a rechargeable fan when the lights go out so you're not burning up. That's their mate. So they're helping their mate to make those changes. But we also know that when a continental African has a mate that is from the West, they always have a mate. Not always, not all of them. And I told you, continental Africans told me this. They have a mate that is in that country. So most of the time, the person that is from the West is funding the life of the continental African and their spouse and their family. I know someone that had a beautiful home in America. They show me their home. I'm like, oh, that's nice, right? But they're in the Gambia and they're like, okay, that's an old text. They're in the Gambia and they're like, honey child, I've never lived like this. But what they're doing is they're staying with their husband. They are being inconvenienced, but they're staying with their spouse. Why? Because they love their mate. What the person said to me, they were like, oh my God, oh, this is rough. This is rough. But what I'm learning is when you go to Africa, the way we are being tested is I feel like the ancestors want us to deal with certain things that we may not have to deal with in America. Like the things that make us the most uncomfortable is what we're being tested with. That's just my opinion. That's what I'm seeing. So, but they stayed with their husband. All the boys come over. They were so happy when I come over. Oh, thank God, I have some feminine energy over here. So when Shrek says these things and you're staying in a guest house, it makes me think your mate has a mate. We are women. Women can refrain from and be celibate. It's harder for men. A man in the Gambia told me, I was like, you're not married, right? He's Muslim. I'm like, you're not married. So, and he was a friend. So we used to talk about a little bit of everything. I would ask him about female mutilation. I wanted to know, right? So I'm like, you're not married. So what happens when you get that itch? He's like, well, there's prostitutes. I said, what the hell? So in the Gambia, you'll see that the families will push young people to get married. I don't know if it's because, I don't know. I'm not Gambian, right? But I don't know if it's because they know that this person is a man and he needs to be married so that way he's not fornicating and committing a sin. But they push them to get married. One of the things I don't necessarily understand is if you are poor and you don't have anything, why are you so quick to get married? You know, once you get married, you're going to be having children. So now you're just creating generations of poverty. And that's something that I don't understand. I always wanted to have a certain foundation before I had children. But God knew Tay don't need any children. God knew. God knows all things. God knows all things. I will hopefully adopt a Gambian child once I'm living there. But I'm grateful and I'm happy that I don't have any children. Children are not for everyone. I'm a teacher. I got a dog. I'm okay with that. I can travel. I don't have to answer to anyone. I can book my plane ticket. I don't have to say, oh my God, I got to take this child. There's someone, oh my goodness. I think her name is Morgan Bailey. I saw something on Instagram this morning and it was a TikTok. This woman is hilarious. DL Hughley posted it. And she's so funny because she's a single mother and it seems like she's making light of it because she was with someone put her story in there. She was with someone in Atlanta. They moved from Atlanta to, I think, Miami to be closer to her friends. She got pregnant. And I think before she had the baby, the man left her. So I guess people are saying, oh, we want you to do an outfit of the day. She is hilarious. She was like, yeah, so I got this shirt on. It has a black heart. It's a t-shirt. She was like, yeah, this is a shirt that my ex-boyfriend, no, the man that cheated on me, she said, yeah, this was his, this is the shirt that I have on belonged to the girl that the man cheated on her with. So put it in the comments, thank Natasha or whatever the girl name was, right? She was like, and I got this baby from a random man in Atlanta. Yo, she is hilarious, but she's making light of being a single mother. It's not easy. I know it's not easy. A lot of my friends in high school were single parents. And I'm like, I always saw when I was younger, I was like, I don't want that. I don't want that. And just because you get married is not guaranteed that the relationship is going to last. So I'm okay with the life that I was given. I'm totally okay with that. It is what it is, right? I can't just go out here and say, hey, marry me. No, I unless I'm going to get something in return. Right? I'm okay with that. If I get married, kudos. If I don't, whatevs. I'm not, so many young people, girl, same. I don't have children and I'm happy and I'm happy. I'm waiting. Kudos to you, Alexis. So many people put so much pressure on themselves. I got to be married by 21. I got to have children by 23. You putting all this pressure on yourself. And then when it doesn't happen, they're stressed out. And then they go and marry someone and shoot, especially on the ID channel, they go and marry someone and then the person that killed them. I'm like, oh my God, you should have just waited. Right? As women, we have so many things. I can't speak for men because I've never been a man. But we have so many pressures on us. We don't need to put any more pressure on ourselves to be this, to be that, to do this, to do that. I'm comfortable and happy in the season that I'm in. And I hope and pray that everyone that's watching this live and people that's going to watch the replay, that you will feel like that as well. Don't put unnecessary pressure on yourself to get married, to have children, and then for people that are my elders and they've never been married, don't be so quick to go to the continent and marry someone. And especially marry them on paper. Then they take the stuff that you've worked so hard for in your life. Don't do that. Be happy in the season that you're in and let it come naturally. What was that movie? Let Go, Let Flow. I think that was Something New with Sanaa Lathan. I don't do interracial relationships, but I really did love that movie. But they were saying, let go, let flow. Just let it flow. Whatever's going to happen, let it happen. People get all dolled up. I got to look like this to get a man. Well, I know people that are married. They're like, girl, I looked a hot mess when I went to the supermarket and he saw me and he tried to talk to me, right? And they're married and still married. It doesn't matter what you have on. We all may have a bad day the way we look. I know I do, because I go to the gym looking real cute, and then next thing you know, I look like I lost the fight when I left. But it's okay, because all of this, even for the young, beautiful people, when you get older, all of that is going to fade. There's some young people, there's some elders that still look amazing, right? But they don't look the way, and they're telling me, I don't look the way I used to look when I was younger. Right? I'm like, but you're still beautiful. But this is going to fade. It's what's in here. It's what's in here that matters. Your personality, your heart, what's in your heart. Yeah, I digress. Hey, Purple Love. How you doing, Purple Love? So, okay. When you're being loved properly by your mates, you don't have time to focus on someone else and what they're doing and obsess over people. You're going to be worried about loving your mate, right? People that's married, am I telling the truth? People that's married that are in, I'm not going to say good marriages, because marriage, any relationship, you have to work at it. Nothing comes perfect. People argue, people fuss, they fight, but the main thing is communication. And if you can talk to that person, not when you're angry, but to sit down and have a conversation or find ways to communicate. It's hard for me to speak sometimes when it comes to when I'm mad with my mate. So I write him a text message, write him a letter. Hey, this is what I'm upset about, blah, blah, blah. And when we get a chance to sit down and talk, now that he knows what I'm angry about, or what I was upset about, and we're able to sit down and communicate and work it out. People have to find ways to communicate and talk to each other and not at each other. One of my subscribers always says, I love your lives. And I'm like, why? She said, because you always make it seem like you're talking directly to me. But I am. I'm talking directly to each and every one of you. And the message, some messages are for others. Some messages are for different people. Different messages are going to touch different people at different times. That's what makes us human. That's what makes us all so unique. But, when Shrek obsesses about us, it's like, you talking about your man, but why aren't you? I mean, I'm sorry. If I was married to, if I was her and I'm married to a Gambian and he loves me the way I say he loves me, then I ain't got time to sit around and talk about nobody else. I'm in the Gambia and I'm sitting there talking about other people. No, I'm going to enjoy spending my time with my man, especially if I'm only going to see him once a year. I'm not going to have a man where I see him once a year because I know men. That man going to have another woman. My husband going to have another wife, right? And honestly, in my opinion, that's what I think. She's the only one living in a fantasy world because she doesn't understand the culture of the Gambia or the culture of Africa. I don't care how many times you went there. You went there for a week, 2 weeks, a month. Live there for an extended period of time. That's when you're going to really see the truth. Learn the culture. Get out of that guest house and go out into the streets and talk to people. Someone said, oh, she's jealous. She said she hate when you speak Wolof. Well, who goes to a country and don't try to learn the language? Don't you know that when you try to learn the language and you speak the native tongue, that the people look at you differently and accept you differently? Netnala said, oh, when you went to Mexico, I love that you're trying to speak the native tongue. I try to do that wherever I go because I know that they accept me differently when I try to speak the native tongue. So after a while, someone that's not being loved properly by their man or their mate, they begin to believe their own lies, even when they say one thing in a sentence and then contradict themselves in the next. I told y'all that before. These people, scammers, they would just say one thing in one sentence and the next sentence they contradict themselves. You be sitting there like, what? But you just said. And then they start to believe their lies, and then they create a narrative, and they start to believe that narrative, and they feel like, oh, the more I say it, the truer it is. No, you just believe in your own lies. And I feel sorry for you. But in the end, it's because they have no idea what love truly is. I'm not going to allow myself to be used by others for their own gain. Even when they will allow, okay, so when you're not being loved properly, you allow yourself to be used by others for their own gain, even when it's detrimental and will destroy you in the long run. She was on a campaign to destroy me and anyone else that spoke out against Kwesi Boyd. But why? The one thing that RJ Mahdi said was, if you don't have a dog in this fight, then shut the hell up. But she couldn't shut her teeth. Why? That's the $1 million question. Was she hired by him to harass us? I mean, in his bank statement, a Cash App did go out multiple times to a Victoria. Who knows if it was her or not? It was around the time that she started harassing people. But this is what happens when you're not being loved properly, when you don't have love for yourself, when you haven't been loved properly. This is what happens. So she's so worried that I called her job. You think I'm going to keep accepting your harassment? Yes, I did call your job. Lady, you a teacher. How the hell you teaching people and you out here harassing people and just making up lies and just saying whatever you want to say? What happens to professional conduct? So let's get into this movie. Okay, it says when you have a man or partner that loves you, you're too busy working on bettering yourself than to be worried about who's doing this or that because it's none of your business or your concern. I think people that are in a relationship can agree with that. Okay, so now we're going to get into the movie. Let's talk about where this behavior comes from and why it's happening to these people in correlation to the movie They Cloned Tyrone. Now, I did ask you all, have you watched it? You can stay on the live if you don't mind spoilers. Some people are like, some movies they say is so good. I'm like, don't tell me. Don't tell me. I want to see it for myself. Some people are like, oh, it doesn't matter. You can tell me. I'm still going to watch it. Right. But I just wanted to put that disclaimer out there because I don't want someone to say, oh, Tay, you told me the movie and I didn't see it. No, there's spoilers. So I have not met anyone that has said that they didn't like or care for the movie because it's deep. It makes you think. Our conscious and free thinkers are still talking about it. And it's the number one movie on the platform is streaming on, which is Netberry. Oh, for those who watch Black Mirror, y'all know what I'm talking about. Netberry. They didn't say the other name, Net whatever. They didn't say that. They call it Netberry. That was the episode Joan is Horrible. That was funny too. I love Black Mirror. And that's another show that makes you think. So, for those who have seen it, did you like it? Did it make you think? I told a few people to watch it, and unfortunately, my live was supposed to have been last night, but I couldn't hop on. I had too much to do. And then, y'all know I was on a live earlier, so I was super late for this live. So, put it in the comments if you've seen it. Not if you've seen it. What was your take on it? If you saw it and you want to put in your 2 cents, let's make this a conversation. Great, Alexis. She says she don't like spoilers. Let's make this a conversation and not a monologue. Okay? So, in the movie, there was the 3 main characters. Jamie Foxx was the pimp. Tiana Paris was the hoe. And John Boyega, I think he was known as Fontaine, if I'm not mistaken, was a drug dealer. Right? So, okay. So this movie, so I love that it had comedy in it. Jamie Foxx and Tiana Paris, they were both throwing out comedy. John Boyega, he was the drug dealer. He was, you know how most drug dealers are, right? They're very reserved. They're a drug dealer, right? They're always paranoid, looking around. But drug dealers, he never smiled, right? He rarely smiled. He was very just focused on getting money. And he was gangster. So he came to, but there was this little boy. Okay. So I'm going to get to that. Cold Tiger. There was this little boy that was in the movie, and he would give the little boy money, and the little boy would snitch, right? But the little boy was funny. The little boy was really funny. And he was like, $50, blah, blah, blah. But I think the little boy reminded him of a little boy that died. A little boy in Fontaine's life that died. And I still don't know if that was his brother or if it was his son. But I think it was his brother, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was his brother. So Cold Tiger said, yes, I've seen it. The antics in it is meant to distract the audience so they don't catch on. I agree, right? So many times we look at things, like I love the movie Inception with Leonardo DiCaprio, right? It's so deep. But some people are like, I don't like that movie. That's because they didn't understand it, right? There was a lot of what we would call malarkey and nonsense that goes on in our community. And like Cold Tiger said, that was meant to distract you from you really understanding the story or what was meant. How can I say this? It was meant to distract us from understanding and getting the true message. That's what I should say. So Jamie Foxx was the pimp. So Fontaine comes to Jamie Foxx was living in a hotel. They was like, why is he living in a hotel and he a pimp? And Tiana Paris was his hoe. So they got into an argument or whatever, and she was like, I'm leaving, right? She had this dream of always leaving. I don't know what state they were in. If you all remember, let me know what state they were in. I want to say Mississippi, but I'm probably messing that up. I think she wanted to go to Mississippi. But whatever state that they were in, she wanted to leave. She had dreams of having a better life than just being a hoe, right? So Fontaine would use the hoes, or I shouldn't say hoes because I don't know what's going to happen with YouTube. He would use the streetwalkers to get information, right? He always had his gun on him. He was quick to pull out his gun. He always had his gun on him. So he goes to Jamie Foxx's hotel. Jamie Foxx owed him money. I guess he sold Jamie Foxx some waffles, right? We're going to use code words. He sold him some waffles, and Jamie Foxx owed him money. You know, if Jamie Foxx was a pimp, then he pimping hoes. He running waffles and doing a lot of other illegal activity, right? So Tiana Paris and John passes ways. She was like, that ninja inside, right? So I guess she knew that he was coming there for him. So he comes in there and he didn't get his money. Jamie Foxx, they talking, whatever. He didn't get his money. So he goes to his car and he goes to back out, and there's a car that is parked behind him, T-bone, so he can't get out. Now he did, before that part, there was some guy, I don't know, the guy was a drug dealer or whatever. He sold waffles and he hit the dude, right? Hit him, boom. So now the dude walking up with it. He got a broken leg. He walking with crutches, this, that, and the third, leg all wrapped up in a cast. He calls, I guess, his boss and says, this ninja hit me. So the car that was behind Fontaine were the people from earlier that he hit. I think he hit him and beat him up, whatever. But he hit him with the car, just boom, just hit him with the car. So I think he got out the car and he got back in, but either way, they shot the car up and killed him. They killed, his name was not Fontaine, his name was Tyrone. Maybe it was Tyrone Fontaine. They killed Tyrone, right? So now Jamie Foxx come out looking like, oh, good, they didn't kill this ninja. So I don't owe him any money now, right? Now, the whole hood knew. Y'all still don't tell me what city was it in. Let me know what city and state was the movie supposedly in. So the whole hood knew that Tyrone was murdered, right? Next thing you know, now, before he died, Tyrone lived with his mother. So he would always knock on the door. He would make the sandwich. He had his little ritual every morning. He would make the sandwich. It's just, I don't know if y'all noticed that the sandwich was either triangle or square, right? They change the picture of the sandwich, the shape of the sandwich. So he would knock on the door. Tyrone would knock on the door. Mom, blah, blah, blah. The mother would say, I'm watching my stories, baby. Or she would say, he was like, I made you a sandwich. Oh, I had a fish dinner at the fish fry. I'm still full. Right? This movie is so deep. He leaves, he goes to the liquor store, he gets his 40, he gets his scratch off. There's a elder that's a drunk man sitting out there. The man says the same thing every day. The boy Tyrone does the scratch off, he doesn't win. He drinks a little bit of beer, or he opens it and he pours some in a cup for the elder, and then he walks off and go and handle his day, right? Now, fast forward, Tyrone was killed. Tyrone wakes up the next morning. Now he's like, what the heck? I don't think he remembered that he was murdered. So he's going through the same motion. Now the people that see him like, this ninja was killed last night. What the hell? Right? So now he goes to the hotel because he's still trying to get his money from Jamie Foxx, from the pimp. He knocks on the door. Jamie Foxx, like, he looks out the window. He's like, move the curtain. He's like, is this the, what he say? Is this the ghost of Ninja Past? Something. But he's like, what the hell? So now he opens the door. Tyrone walks in and he's looking at him like, Ninja, you were murdered last night. Like, what is going on? You don't remember getting shot? So Tyrone doesn't believe him. So now they go to look for the hoe. Tiana, right? The streetwalker. They go to look for Tiana. And, you know, Tiana was funny. She's like, whatever, I'm just trying to get my money so I can go to Mississippi or wherever. So they're in the car and she was like, yeah, I heard the gunshots and this, that, and the third. So now they go to the man that killed him. Not supposedly, they go to the man that killed him. And now this dude is looking at him like, you got shot. You were dead. We saw you. You were dead. Now, this man is trying to understand what's going on. Y'all, fast forward. They end up at a trap house, right? The trap house has an elevator. So they're like, what the hell? This trap house got an elevator. They go downstairs. They have drugs in there. It's a whole laboratory. They see, I don't know. Y'all tell me if the dude that was in the trap house lab, if he was a white man. He looked like either a white man or a really, really light-skinned African with an afro. I don't know. Well, I told you Tyrone always had his gun. Tiana Parrish pulled out her gun. So Jamie Foxx tried to act like he didn't have a gun, or he tried to act like he didn't need a gun. He looked at them, so then he pulls out his gun. Now they had coke down there. So Jamie tries the coke, but it got him tripping, right? Not tripping like you sniff coke. It got him tripping. It was weird. It was really, really weird. So I don't know. They both tried it. Jamie and Tiana. He ended up shooting the lab dude. Fast forward. I don't know. He didn't see himself then. Fast forward. So Tyrone comes back with his goons to the trap house. It's no longer a trap house. It's a regular family's home. He goes to open up the closet. It's a regular closet. So now they looking at him like he crazy, right? So they all come in the car together. He gets in the car. He leaves. He like, I thought you came here with this ninja, right? Tyrone is trying to really understand what's going on. Fast forward. I'm not going to tell everything about the movie because there's certain parts that I remember. So they go to have lunch. They at the chicken joint. They know all African people love chicken, right? Tyrone is in there laughing. They ain't never seen this man laugh. So Jamie Foxx says, I've never seen you laugh. I'm seeing all your teeth. I've never seen you laugh. So everybody in there just like, it's weird. It was really weird. So Jamie has a piece of chicken in his mouth and he's looking and he's looking know if he slapped the chicken out of Tiana's hand, but he said it's the chicken. It's amazing to me the things that the powers that be use to keep us under mind control and keep us focused on nonsense. So they realized that it's the chicken, right? That was making people be controlled. They sitting there laughing, this, that, and the third. Fast forward. They go to a salon. Oh my goodness, it's in the perm. Whatever they were using, they put it in a perm, they put it in the chicken, they put it in the cocaina, the waffles. Jamie Foxx, they saw a minivan. Oh, not a minivan. It was a work van. Jamie Foxx gets in the van and he sees. Y'all remember, for those that went to church, remember that grape juice? Remember the grape juice? When you do communion, you see all these bottles of grape juice in there. They ended up going to the church. They put whatever they were using to control the minds of the African American people in the grape juice as well. They go to the church. But Jamie Foxx also found a key, like a hotel key, like a key card. And when they went to the church, of course, like I said, there was comedy in there. They was like, oh, this sounds like a joke, right? A pimp, a hoe, and a drug dealer walks into a church, right? The beginning of a joke. But they took the key card, they put it in. There was like this slot. And the pulpit comes up and they're able to go down. Now they all got their gun again in this elevator. They did find a way, because people were in like these hazmat suits. So they did find a way to get the hazmat suit. They sent Tyrone to do that, right? I told y'all Tyrone was gangster. Got the hazmat suits. Was that the time? Am I getting that mixed up? No, they had the hazmat suits. This is right. They had the hazmat suits, but they ended up finding. Now, this is the part that really messed me up. They ended up walking in and finding these tubes, right? That was housing different people's bodies. And they all found their clone. Tyrone found his clone. He started shooting it. I think he was so far, he was in so deep that he couldn't really understand what was going on. That was my perception. It was really messing him up. So Tiana found hers, and so did Jamie Foxx. Now, Kiefer Sutherland was, okay, so say they have these, because they had them all over the city, y'all. Churches, labs, secondary labs. It was all over the city. So I guess for that town, Kiefer Sutherland was like the general manager. You understand what I'm saying? Or regional manager. That's the best way to say it. He was the regional manager for that region. So they're in the car, like they eventually leave. Okay, it says it's a fictional place in the South, but it was filmed in Atlanta. Okay. Thank you so much, Tivani. Tivani T. They wanted to tell what was going on, right? Jamie, Tiana, Tyrone wanted to tell what was going on. I don't remember Jamie and Tiana's name, but since I know their names, I'm just saying their real names. Now, what was weird was they were being chased by a mob of people from the community. They trying to get in the car. The car stops. These people trying to get in the car, and then all of a sudden they just stop and stand there just like zombies. And a town car or a luxury car pulls up. Kiefer Sutherland gets out. Now he has a driver. Now the driver ended up being one of Tyrone's clones. But he was fully under the control of Kiefer Sutherland. And Tiana kept trying to, of course, Tyrone, he gangster, right? So he want to fight, he want to shoot his gun, whatever. He didn't do that because Kiefer Sutherland was able to control everyone with words. Now, unfortunately, Jamie was in the trance, so he wasn't doing anything. Tiana, she was the one she was still talking to Tyrone. Kiefer Sutherland got Tyrone to pull out his gun, and he was telling him, put it in your mouth. And the boy was doing it. Tyrone was doing it. Put it to her head. And she was like, no, Tyrone, I know you in there. Don't do it. Da-da-da-da-da-da. She was trying to talk to him. So Kiefer Sutherland basically told you, this is what you were created for. This is in order to keep Jesus. In order for them to keep their order, right? A certain hierarchy on top, we at the bottom. They created this. So they create people to behave in this manner. All the people I just talked about before this, right? We always talk about people are agents. Like, are they really agents? I don't want to give them that credit. I call Shrek the agent of destruction, but I don't want to really give people this much credit that you're an agent. Are you really working for the government to destroy your own people? I mean, their behavior is saying that. But that's what really got me when Kiefer Sutherland was like, you a hoe. You a streetwalker. This is what you do. This is your job. This is what you do, right? This is what you were created for. And said the same thing about Jamie Foxx and said the same thing about Tyrone. So he gave them an option. Get in that car, you go back to doing what you're doing. We go back to doing what we're doing. You act like you don't know. But once you have been exposed to light, you can't cut the light off and say, I'm going back to being ignorant. You can't do that. You have seen what's in the room. You can't cut the light off and say, I don't know what's in that room anymore, because it's still in your mind. So now they in the car, they all messed up. They've seen too much. Now, Jamie and Tyrone, well, Jamie went back to his life. He accepted, this is who I am. This is all I'm going to be. And some people accept that. I'm not built like that. But he went and he accepted it. Now, Tyrone came to see him. No. I fast forward. Let me, I'm going too fast. I'm going too fast. Yes, I like it and will continue to make you think. Yes, it will. I'm going to watch it again before I go to bed. Because I watched it with my friend and I love her to life, but she kept talking. And that's normally me when I go to the movie theater. Blah, 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 blah. But I was like, shut up. I wanted her to shut up, right? She was like, it's the chicken. I'm like, oh, here you go with your spoilers, right? But it was okay. It was okay. I enjoyed talking to her through the movie because it was just like, so Tiana was the conscious one. She's like, no, I'm going to fight this. I'm going to fight this. I'm going to fight this. So she decides that she's going to write something up and drop it in the mail. Now, when they did go into this huge lab, they saw people that were in these padded rooms. They saw people, two men, how they would play a certain type of music and these people will fight, right? And then they play this music, oh, hug, and they will hug. They were fully under mind control. Do we not see that today? Do we not see our people thinking for themselves? They are allowing people to think for them. They are allowing the celebrities to create this mirage of a life, and we think that that's real. This is why our continental brothers and sisters think we're all rich. You're looking at a movie. You're looking at social media. You're looking at videos. Oh, they all got money. This is not real. But how many of us think for ourselves? I don't want anyone thinking for me. God gave me a brain and I'm going to use it. It's just sad that some of my brothers and sisters be trying to use juju and all this other stuff. I'm going to control your mind. Look, I don't let nobody play with my mind but God, my creator. And my creator is not going to play with my mind. So, okay, I'm going to leave this up. I'm going to keep talking about this. So, after a while, one of the women that we saw that they were experimenting on, we saw her missing poster. So for those that will not conform to the agenda, they kidnap you. You're just missing. They're not going to put you as a clone. You're missing. And they have you in this lab. So Purple Love say they always have experiments going on with us. They are planning 50 years ahead to keep us in our place. I wholeheartedly agree. We know about the oh God, what is it called? The Tuskegee experiment, right? We know about all these things now because history is being revealed. We're in the age of awakening. So things are being revealed. But at that time, when people, I guarantee you there were people out there that were considered the conspiracy theorists, right? That was saying, oh, they're doing this. They're experimenting on us. They're doing this. They're giving these people syphilis. No, they're not. What are you talking about? Right? Somebody I know, they were like, you think our government don't love us? I was like, girl, no government love the people. Maybe the people in Switzerland. There are some countries that, their people live good, right? So maybe those countries, but I feel like the government is like insurance companies. They're not in business to take care of the people. They're in business to make money. I'm getting cold. I got my air conditioner on. This is why I love fresh air. KB talked about the air conditioner. Look, I love fresh air. This air conditioner being on because it's so hot, it's giving me a sore throat. And it's been hot for 3-digit numbers for 3 weeks. No, a whole month. I'm like, God, come on now. When is this going to break? I'm coming to Nairobi. Tony Africa, I'm coming to Nairobi where it's cold at. But there were conspiracy theorists that were saying this is happening. Just like with Carly Russell. There were people that were saying this is not real. This doesn't make sense. And then people like, oh, y'all conspiracy theorists. And then what happened? Comes out that she was lying. Right? I don't know why she lied about that. Sister, I pray that you get some help. I don't know why she lied over a man. That's what happened when you don't love yourself. That's what happened when you don't realize that you have not been loved properly by your mate. People do stuff like that. So we know that they have been experimenting on us. History has proven that. But there's still people that are out there that are eating the chicken, that are getting the perm, right? And it's taking over their brains. that are sniffing the waffles, right? And they are not seeing the truth. They have blindfolds on. They have mesh over their eyes. They're not seeing the truth. Even the people that are still like, they didn't do anything wrong in the Gambia. I'm like, are these people stupid? I mean, how many videos do I have to make to show y'all what's going on? They clone Tyrone. And they clone many of us. Where the people that are speaking the truth are to be looked at like they're crazy. Oh, she's crazy. She's emotional. She's a woman. She's this. I'm so happy Dynas Amir said we don't play that gender stuff. I'm so happy he shut that ish down, because that's the first thing that the CEO of Invest Relocate Africa want to talk about. These women come here. These women do this. These women. We're the men. You want to talk about what we do? We were just exposing something that wasn't real. But people will rather live in a fantasy world. I know life is hard. Living in reality and seeing the truth, oh my God, sometimes I'm like, oh God, I wish that I can just put blinders on. But I've already seen the truth. I can't go back to living in darkness. I can't go back to that. I've seen the truth. Sometimes I refrain myself from looking at things because I'm like, I can't take no more of this. Because it's like, okay, you know the truth, but what can you do? What can we do? They say, oh, fight back. But well, the government is way more stronger than we are. The only way we can fight back is in our minds. Using this, looking out for your brother and your sister. But unfortunately, in these days, I'm getting emotional. See, this is why I know that this is my passion. Because the things that make you emotional is my people. Why are we behaving like this? We have no idea who we are. When I did go to church, they will say the things that make you cry, that's your passion. And the things that make me cry is how our children are being treated, how our children can't get an education, right? How our people are treating each other. That's why I know it's my passion. If we don't love each other, how can we expect other people to love us? When I cry, they always say, drink water, drink water. Some of us see where the direction our people are going in. Our Kathy made a video talking about thank you, Alexis. Thank you, Purple Love. Our Kathy made a video talking about she stand with India Irie. I mean, most of us that are conscious stand with India Irie. I don't even know a Megan Thee Stallion song. I don't listen to her. Now, I think in my Zumba class, one of the songs is hers. I don't know. I'm just dancing to Zumba. Some of those songs are ratchet as heck. Ratchet as heck. I'm just getting my exercise on. They were like, oh, you ain't hear the WAP song? I don't even know what WAP stand for. And I really don't choose to try to find out, because that's not the reality that I live in. So why would we expect anything else from Megan Thee Stallion or a lot of these video vixens or artists that all they push is we're just sex symbols. African American women are just sex symbols. We're so much more than that. Right? So, of course, I got on Instagram. I'm like, okay. So we expect this from them. But let me tell you what R. Kathy did. So some people are like, oh, well, so what? So what? So you don't care about building generational wealth. You don't care about someone that is stealing from her own people that are trying to go back to Africa. You're just saying, oh, she spoke the truth. Well, we know that our Kathy will speak anything. She is a true con artist. She knows how to use her gift of gab to sell. She could sell water to a well. She could sell an ice castle to an Eskimo. So we know that. But what is she living? Does what she's preaching, does it match her life? No. No, it doesn't. I hate getting deep in rabbit holes of the truth. It's it is it's hard for me. It's like those conversations, those rough conversations that we have to have as a people, but we don't want to have. So that's how I feel when I talk about certain things. How we are affected as a people, and not many people want to hear about that. They want to hear about, oh, she did this, she did that, this didn't nonsense. But is this not what Kiefer Sutherland and the powers that be in They Clone Tyrone? They wanted to keep us focused on nonsense. If they keep us focused on nonsense, we will stay at the bottom of the totem pole and we will never have anything. To know that we came from Black Wall Street and to see where we are now on Boondocks, when they had the episode with Martin Luther King that came back to life. And he was going off. Y'all ninjas doing this. Y'all and we need to do this. Then he started speaking life into him. We need to do this. We need to do that. But I won't be with you because I'm going to Canada. Right? It's I love when we have truth, but we have to have some comedy with it because it is so deep, Alexis. It is so deep. And it makes me emotional, and I know it makes other people emotional. So we just try to act like it doesn't exist. A girl that used to do my nails, I was talking about credit, right? She's not African American. She's from South America somewhere, right? And I was talking about credit, and she was like, nobody want to hear about that. That's depressing. But she got bad credit. Out here looking for a two-bob to change her life. And I'm just, I can't live in a fantasy world. That will literally drive me insane. I have to live in reality. But is it because I've been exposed to truth and these people haven't been exposed to truth? Someone that was born in a different country, they will never really understand being African American. No matter how dark they are, they still have been taught that the white man is God. That the white man, get with a white man, he gonna change your life. Keep your body looking good, get with a foreigner. They don't even want an African American. They'll marry an African American man to get the green card, but for a better life, oh no, they're going for a two-bob. Look at the people in the Gambia looking for two-bobs. Oh, two-bob. Oh, that's my friend. Oh, they love me. They don't even realize that they're just being used as a sex symbol to live out somebody's wicked sexual fantasies. They don't even realize that. But that's something that I will never understand because I wasn't born outside of the United States. I mean, I live in Arizona. They're like, you should get you a two-bob. I'm like, they ain't. I'm not attracted to two-bobs. You should get you a Mexican. I'm not attracted to Mexican. There's some handsome men out there. That's not my preference. A Mexican said, oh, you're racist. I said, because I only want to be with an African man? I'm racist? But then she was like, I only date African Americans. Well, then you're racist. You're a racist against your own people, right? This is why I say some people have no control over their minds. No control over their minds. They had all the whites with afros. Okay. Because the manager at the chicken place was Tiana Parrish played him. She's like, go get me some. He thought it was a word that she was using and he was like, oh, I'm going to get that. I guess it's something that the streetwalkers do. And all the people loved whatever that service was. He was like, oh, he was real happy. But he was a two-bob, right? He was Caucasian. They all had afros. But that even opens up something different in my mind. That opens up something different in my mind because, okay, so if they were all white and they had afros, so the African Americans in that movie were so blindfolded, right? They were so blind that they didn't even see. They just saw the afro. So they didn't even see that that was a Caucasian. That wasn't even someone that looked like you. See? Every time I talk about this with someone else, I get another point. Everything we use and places we go to, they put in there. That's why I say that movie was so deep. If you have not seen it, when you get off this live, go watch it. And watch it with your eyes wide open. Now, we were drinking wine. That was a day after I did my live when I was getting the clothes for the foundation together. So I didn't go to the store that day because normally I go to the store almost every day that they're open and I work in the store. You know, you got to push your own products, right? So I was getting all the clothes together and we drinking wine. My friend bought, I don't know what it was called, but Snoop Dogg got some wine. That was 13.5%. I was a little tipsy. I think I'm a lightweight, y'all. I think I'm a total lightweight. But watch it with your eyes wide open. If you can watch it without any distractions, do it. That movie was so deep. And it really showed what's going on in our community. How we're so focused on fantasy. Like the woman that was, when they went to the beauty salon, and she talking, blah, 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 blah. I don't know what she was talking about. Blah, 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 blah. Soon as they put that perm on her hair, she was in a trance. In a trance. So, supposedly, Bernie Mac, the actor, was exposed to cloning projects, along with members of the Kings of Comedy. J.K. wrote this. Bernie wanted to expose the cloning practice against the wishes of his friends. And then he dies. Certain celebrities, when they die, it's just like, I cry because I'm like, it's like I miss my uncle, right? Bernie Mac was like everybody's uncle. Whitney Houston was like everybody's auntie. I cried and cried, but her funeral was so long. I'm like, all right, I gotta go, and I'm tired of crying. It's the only black people had the long, drawn out funerals. That's not true though, because Native Americans, they party for 2-3 days. Dance, eat. I'm like, I'm ready to go home. Little JK, let's take this a little bit further, right? This whole illness with Jamie Foxx, they said Jamie Foxx was working on 5 movies. He said, go watch every movie because it's, I guess, conscious. It's their conscious movies. I just don't want what happened to Chadwick Boseman to happen to Jamie Foxx. You can't work yourself to death. Everyone's eyes are not going to be open. The Bible says everyone won't be saved. And a lot of times when I quote a Bible scripture, it's not about religion. It's about the correlation to what is going on in our generation now. Everyone won't be saved. Everybody's eyes won't be open. Everybody won't be conscious. Everybody doesn't want to be conscious. Some people want to take the blue or the red pill, right? The red pill was conscious. The blue pill wasn't. Let me know if I got that mixed up, y'all, from the Matrix. I feel like this was like a modern day African Matrix. That's how I feel. I feel like they cloned Tyrone was for us, but it was the Matrix for African people. That's how I feel. I was like, what the heck? So some people don't want the truth. Some people would rather live in darkness. But they use everything that we use in our lives, in the African American community, to control their minds. So many tidbits of information if you watch with an open mind. That is so true, Purple Love. I try to watch a lot of things with an open mind. Even the little cartoon movies, I'm like, oh, that's a subliminal message. But also sometimes that hurt you when your eyes are so open. You're like, man, I just want to enjoy the movie. But you're thinking. You're always thinking. But that's not a bad thing to always be thinking. Some people don't think at all. And that's sad. One, I had the wine with Snoop. And once you had the wine with Snoop, and it was good. It really was good. It was a little tart, but it was really good. My friend, she brought it over. She was like, "We're gonna drink this wine." I had it in my refrigerator for forever until we started drinking it, right? I was like, let's watch the movie and drink it. I still got Cuban rum in my freezer. I went to Cuba in 2018, and you know I'm not alcoholic. It's still in my freezer. She was like, I still haven't tried that Cuban rum. I was like, I'm going to make you a smoothie and spike your smoothie. A fruit smoothie and spike it. It's crazy because they was accusing the industry for cloning Jamie Foxx. Yo, I heard that too. I heard they cloned Dave Chappelle. Honestly, I'm not above any conspiracy theory because a theory is a thought. And if someone has enough money, they can make that thought come true. All these scientists, what the hell them scientists in there doing? Well, the money not going into the educational system, we know that. So I don't put anything past anyone that has a whole bunch of money. And we know the government got a whole bunch of money. Not just the government. We know the 1% have a whole bunch of money. But do I believe that they were trying to kill Jamie Foxx? I mean, it's a possibility. They said they killed Michael Jackson. They said whoever they are, right? Men in Black, I don't know. They said that they killed Whitney Houston, right? They said Whitney Houston did not have any drugs in her system. So if she didn't have any drugs in her system, then how the heck did she drown in the bathtub? And they say Whitney was known to never take a bath. Not bathe her body, but take a bath in a bathtub, right? She didn't take baths. And I don't know if that had to do with her using narcotics. I don't know. Waffles, I don't know. But they said she was known to never take a bath. I watched that interview with her brother and her sister-in-law. Her sister-in-law said that she came to Whitney Houston's, she called her every day. Every day she said she called her. The day that Whitney died, why didn't you call her? Then the assistant or makeup artist or some woman standing at the hotel door, and she's crying and she's screaming. And Pat, who is the sister-in-law, she's just walking all slow. Why? Did you know what happened? They said Ray J was there. I don't know what, y'all. I don't want that fame and fortune. They destroyed Cat Williams' career because Cat Williams said that what he saw when he went to those private parties. They also said that Jamie Foxx went to a private party and he saw Diddy and he started talking about it. And then all of a sudden he's sick and he almost died. If they really did clone Jamie, we will see him talking differently. When I went to go see Dave Chappelle, I was mad I paid for that ticket. I was like, who is this dude? He talking about he a Trump supporter. He talking about, oh, they ain't talking about y'all. I was like, yeah, I didn't. It wasn't the Dave Chappelle that we see on his TV show and his stand-up videos on Netflix or on Streamberry, Netberry. It wasn't that Dave Chappelle that I saw in person. So I don't know. I have no idea. It was as deep as the movie Get Out. Yes. This is why I'm kind of nervous to go in Tubob's house. I was like, I don't want to be in a Get Out situation. What African American going with me? And it's sad that we have to think like that. But how many women that are African American are missing? That's why Carly Russell shouldn't have did that. There are many of us that are actually missing. I don't know if they're taking our organs. I have no idea what's going on. Somebody's a sex slave. I have no idea. But this is why we need to look out for each other more. The Bible says we are our brother's keeper. We are our sister's keeper. We're not talking about blood. We're talking about nationality. We're all African. We need to look out for each other. Everything has a subliminal message. Everything has subliminal messages. I agree. Everything. Everything. That's why some people don't even bother to look at TV. They don't even bother to look at TV. I mean, you see, first of all, America act like they don't like African Americans, right? Or Africans, or people with brown skin. But every commercial got some hip hop. I'm like, but you don't like us. Why are you using our music? This is how we do it. I mean, it just has all of our stuff. Jamie's video threw me off when he appeared lighter, like he bleached, or was my AI in the video. I don't know what video you talking about. Elaborate, Alexis. I don't know what video you're talking about. But many of the celebrities are bleaching. Look at Beyonce back in the day with Destiny Child when she first came out, and look at her now. Look at Rihanna. They are bleaching. And I don't understand. I mean, I'm lighter than what I want to be, especially in the winter. So when the summer comes, they're like, oh, don't you want to go swim at LA Fitness? I'm like, no, that doesn't have any sun. It's closed in. All I smell is chlorine. I want to swim out so I can get sun kissed, so I can get kissed by the sun. Let me get a little darker. Let me get out some vitamin D. We know our vitamin D is always low. Always low. I think I forgot to take my vitamin D pills. My vitamin D is always low. Every time I get my blood work done, oh, your vitamin D is low. I say, yeah, I know. And I start taking the pills and I always forget because I don't like taking pills. So I always forget. But that's why I try to stay out in the sun as much as possible, especially when I go to Africa. They definitely threaten these celebs, the celebrities, the athletes. I feel like it's something written where the athletes they have to marry a tuba. They have to marry a tuba. I really do think that. But let's think about when a celebrity or an athlete marries a tuba. Okay. Now, it's his money. We know that historically most men die before women. So where's the money going back to? Back into the Caucasian community. Some of these streetwalkers, what do they call them? Groupies. Some of these groupies, oh, they'll say, oh, the celebrities are for us. Lady, you a tuba. If he was broke and poor, you wouldn't be marrying him. Your family wouldn't let you marry him. But because he's a celebrity and he has money, oh, he's going to die before you. Historically, a man is going to die before a woman. This is why I don't wear this. Next thing you know, the bar is right here. They're going to die. So the money goes right back into their community. We got to wisen up, y'all. But unfortunately, I feel like African-American people, we're done in this life. Many of us are too lost. Look at Jay-Z's career and look at Common's career. Look at what Jay-Z always rap about. Look at what Common always rap about. Look at Beyonce's career. Look at India Arie's career. India Arie can sing. She's just singing about different things. She ain't singing about pop that, this and that. She's not singing about that. Look at my YouTube channel and look at Shrek's. I'm not saying that I'm better than her, but I do have more positivity on my page, but people don't want to see positivity. Humans love a damn train wreck. Oh my God, let me look at the negative. I know that, and I'm okay with that. But I'm definitely going to grow my channel with fitness. I'm going to grow my channel with fitness. Even if it's just for the men to say, ooh, she look good. I don't care, right? No, I'm just joking. I know that in the end, I will be helping the people that want to get a little bit healthier. with through fitness, through nutrition, showing the different things I cook. I love that. People say, why are you taking pictures of your food? What because people want to see what I cook. Just like when people take it, I'm like, oh, I like that. Right? Chickpeas. I would never make chickpeas any other way except for if they're roasted in my air fryer. And I got that from Ebony Bomani on Instagram. She used to work for the Main Choice. She's a hairstylist. And she went vegan after she had a miscarriage. So she's vegan. Her and her husband are vegan. So share. People may not watch. You may think people are not watching. The people that are supposed to see it, this is for me. This is what I say to myself. The people that are supposed to see it will see it. The people that want different food ideas. I get tired of eating the same thing. I'm like, ooh. So when I do go out to restaurants and I choose something, I'm looking at the ingredients. I take a picture. I'm like, I could try that at home. I could make this. I mean, the women do that when they go to a strip club with their mates. Oh, I got a new move. Okay. All right. Oh my goodness. Okay. So the video he released talking about how he is doing. Oh, so that's what you're saying. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Purple Love. When he resurfaced on social media after being in the hospital, he was lighter than me and he's normal deep brown. I thought it was an AI filter. Let's just hope and pray it was the lighting. Well, that just shows we have to see the movies, the 4 more movies that he made. They say he made 5 in total. We need to see the 4 movies that he made. Because if he was really they cloned Tyrone and this exposure of the truth, and then he made 4 other movies, I want to see those movies. Because I'm like, oh yeah, they killed him. But even with them making the movies, some people still won't see it. Or they just won't care. All right, let me get to these. And then I'm going to finish up the movie because I've been on here for 2.5 hours. But I love talking to y'all. I really do. And thank you so much for interacting. Excuse me. Whiteness. Okay, let me get it out. Whiteness is heavily promoted in Africa because of colonization. I see the other comment. She's meant colonization. I agree, Antoinette. Unfortunately, our brothers and sisters don't see that. They treat 2 Bobs way better than they treat us. Now, what does that? And we know it's because of colonization. And a lot of times when we go back out of respect. Because we know Americans can be gangster as F. We can be gangster AF, right? But when we go back and we're nice. And Gammy say, oh, it's nice to be nice. And I say to the people that I know that I can talk freely to, I'm like, unfortunately, your brothers and sisters there will say, it's nice to be nice. And they will say to me, yeah, they want you to be nice so they can scam you. There are some that are conscious and will tell you the truth. There's some, I met one that will go to the police station and stand up for you. Thank you, brother. I love you so much. And then there's some that are cloned by Tyrone. There are some that they clone Tyrone. Okay, so hi, Miriam. Sister Nakam. Yeah, ain't fine. Silo Neka. Yeah, you okay. Naka Fufu. Naka family B. Naka Likebi. Yeah, y'all. I still got to practice my Wolof for when I go back to the Gambia. Is it okay to eat the 10 chickpeas? That's totally up to you. I try to stay away from canned foods as much as possible because of the preservatives. So I had some baked beans, the vegetarian Bush's baked beans. So something made me look on it. When I go food shopping, I tend to read that's why I'm in the supermarket for so long, because I'm reading the ingredients. We need to get in the habit of doing that, you all. We really do need to get in the habit of reading the ingredients. So I read the ingredients and I was like, oh, let me see if this is because I'm just so used to grabbing a vegetarian one. I'm like, does this have high fructose corn syrup in it? So today, last night I went to go read it, and I'm like, oh my God, this is, the sodium is over 500. That sodium was ridiculous. I think it was like 600. It was crazy. It was a ridiculous number. So I'm like, Mom, why is there sodium in baked beans? For preservatives. So I tend to, when it comes to my beans, Antoinette, I normally buy the dry beans. I soak them, especially the chickpeas. I soak them in water overnight, and then it has this white film that comes off. I don't know what that is. I rinse them real good, like a million times. I'm sorry. But I rinse them real good. And then I put them in a bowl and I start seasoning. I put garlic, fresh garlic, right? Minced garlic. I put sometimes I just slice the onions. I love garlic powder. I love onion powder. I use the minced onions. I put turmeric in it. I put nutritional yeast flakes, pepper, sometimes lemon pepper. I just be seasoning. Shake them up, and put them in the pan. I didn't expect for that to come out like that. But, and I put it in my air fryer on roast. Girl, they are so good. And sometimes, if I just want a snack, I just get a handful and just chew them and eat them. If you are on a fitness journey, some things that you did not like before, once you start making yourself eat it, you're going to love it. I didn't used to like carrots. I still don't like celery unless it's cooked. I couldn't stand sweet potatoes. I'll bake a sweet potato and put a little butter, salt, and pepper on it and just eat it just like that. So what happens is when you are on a different journey, I'm so hungry, y'all. All I had was, I worked out this morning and all I had was my nutritional, my protein shake. My stomach is like, I'm going to eat after this live, but I made my salad. I just didn't have time to eat, which I don't do all the time. I try to eat every 2 to 3 hours, whether it's a shake. I try to put something in my system every 2 to 3 hours. If not, when I do eat, I'm so hungry that I tend to overeat. That's the worst thing to do. You should not just be eating one meal a day. If, even if you having fruit, anytime you eat fruit, eat some nuts. Because fruit is empty calories. That's just going to give you that natural sugar rush, and then you're going to be hungry again. You need the protein. Nuts. And I'm not saying protein from meat. You can have protein from broccoli. You can get protein from, even though Dr. Sebi told us not to eat broccoli, you get protein from spinach. I think he said we're not supposed to eat spinach either. Kale, right? You can get protein from a lot of vegetables. We see these animals. Animals don't eat meat, and they strong as heck. That's another thing that they're just trying to. You need meat to get protein. That's a lot. You know how many vegans play football and do yoga? So you should not eat one meal a day. I eat like a baby every 2 to 3 hours. I take my food with me. I have my little lunch bag. They say, oh, fat people always got food. You say what you want. At least I won't overeat. And I won't make bad choices. I told y'all I love French fries. I don't want to stop and get French fries all the time. That's not going to help me. So I bring my own snacks. Now, I've been eating really clean lately and drinking water, no juice. Oh my gosh. I just wanted something sweet yesterday. So I have a little water bottle. So I made some lemonade, put some brown sugar in there, shook it up. I don't drink all of it. I drink like kid-sized juices. And it just gave me my little sugar that I wanted. I'm good. I'm back to drinking my water. So you can eat 10 chickpeas, but I love dried beans. I try not to eat beans from the can unless I have to. Okay. What made me start tripping in Africa was seeing the locals glow when they saw a light-skinned person or a white person. I was like, these colonizations had took a hold of our minds. Sister, You know how many times they're like, oh, your skin is so beautiful. They got the same skin complexion as me. I'm like, your skin is beautiful. Oh, no, not as beautiful as yours. They have literally been taught to hate themselves and love us. Love everything from the wigs. I couldn't believe so many people was wearing wigs. Not in Nigeria, though. A lot of Nigerians are wearing their natural hair, from what I see. The Nigerians that are in the Gambia, they're not wearing wigs. I see their natural hair. But I did not expect to see so many wigs and false eyelashes and a face full of makeup where they totally look like a different person. Y'all saw that video where I went to the wedding, right? With the other YouTuber. I went to the wedding and I'm like, yo, when she came out, I was like, first of all, when I first met her, she was dark skinned. Then I'm like, yeah, where is blah, blah, blah? Well, the video's up. So her name is Awa. I'm like, oh, I don't, Awa. So my security was like, that's her. I'm like, that's not her. She was darker when I first met her. Right? But this was for her wedding. So I don't know if she bleached. Right? They didn't say anything because they try to act like that doesn't exist. Right? And I'm like, come on, man. But then you want to call me a Tubob. I'm like, call your skin bleaching auntie a Tubob. Don't call me no Tubob dick. I couldn't believe it. So she walks in. She looks like one person. When she came out, y'all heard what I was like, oh my God, you look beautiful. She looked like a totally different person. This is what the men be talking about. Like, oh, I meet you at the club. You look like something. And then, oh, they see you, y'all start dating and they see you at home. And it's like, yo, Will Smith did that with Tisha Campbell Martin when she guest starred and they were locked in the basement for the earthquake. She took the wig off, popped the nails off. He's like, right? I could not believe it. I mean, the people that are bleaching over there, and they don't even care. Their feet look one color, their legs look another color, their face is one color, the arms, the knuckles is black. I'm like, yo, you look like they made us hate ourselves and love their wealth. They cloned Tyrone. It's sad. It really is sad. He was a little pale and weak looking, but I think that's because he went through a lot. Miriam, I hope that that's what it is, right? I really hope that that's what it is. We will see. We'll see as we see him more, but I really hope that that's what it is. Because if he was almost, because I see he was so skinny, but he would never talk about what actually happened, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. He never said what was really wrong with him, right? He just contribute his life to his sister and his daughter saved his life. Lonzo World, I'm pissed I got the notification. But that's a great movie though. Yes, it was. I have one of the things okay, maybe I shouldn't talk about that. But the Gambia, I don't think they have movie theaters. So if someone wants to go, I'm not talking about a movie theater, a building. I'm not really big on the buildings, right? They have so much free space out there. I love drive-in movie theaters. I love that. When we lived in New York, I absolutely love that. My mom can attest to that. I love drive-in movie theaters. But if anyone wants to brainstorm about some type of movie arena or something in the Gambia, email travelwithtete@gmail.com. Because I feel like our Gambian brothers and sisters should, and not just the Gambia, because I'll be traveling to other countries as well. Anybody in Togo, anybody in Mali, y'all want Tete to come visit, please. travelwithtete@gmail.com. I have some questions. So, I feel like Gambians and people on the continent need to see more truthful documentaries and movies. They need to see 13th. Ava DuVernay documentary on Streamberry. Netberry. I think that they need to, that on both sides there has to be more education that we learn about them. We need to be more educated about them, and they need to be more educated about us. And I think maybe it will be less division for those who want to learn, because some people just don't want to learn. I call some of them the broke, wicked, and arrogant. They broke, they're wicked, and they do some wicked things. I'm not saying everybody. Certain people I call the broke, wicked, and arrogant. And then they're arrogant. They don't even, you're broke, so you've never really been experienced to anything in life. And then you're wicked, so you're doing wicked things. And then you're arrogant about your wickedness and your not inability, you not wanting to learn. That's asinine to me. That's mind-blowingly crazy to me. You know how many people said to me, about a car? I'm like, yo, when have you owned a car? Oh, I haven't, but I know. How the hell you know? That's the arrogance. I'm telling you, our brothers and sisters, they got some confidence that they need to share with us. They got some confidence, honey. Okay, everything in that movie is what's going on today. Yes, I'm going to get back to the movie and finish it up. For every Jamaican in the chat, happy Emancipation Day. Happy Emancipation Day. Thank you, Antoinette. Happy Emancipation Day to the Jamaicans. Jamaica. Thank you for sharing that, sister. Respect to the Jamaicans. The preservatives make it harder for you to digest. It messes up your digestive system. That's why we're getting so sick. Lonzo, brother, you are preaching. Oh, that's why I told Bag, when I lived there, I would work for food. I would go out to their garden every morning. Like, okay, I'm working 4 hours. You would need 4 hours from me? Okay, I'm coming. I'm working for food. Because living off the land, we need to get back to what we knew back in the day. Even if it was during slavery time, right? During slavery time, they're eating off the land, this, that, and the third. We need to get back to that. But I know that it's not easy. With all of the things that we are so busy with in life, it's so much easier to just run and go and get fast food. But what I say is, how do we change a generation? Incorporate the children into what we're doing. Get the children in the kitchen. Go take the children shopping with you. Don't let them get junk. We're going to make this. We're going to make things from scratch. That way you know what's in it. Yes, it takes longer. Meal prep. My mom, she would cook. It's in the refrigerator. We ate leftovers. I ain't bougie. We ate leftovers. But I'm just learning, yes, it takes me, I normally cook on Sundays or on one of my days off. Mondays and Tuesdays are my days off. So I normally cook on Sundays, but now since I'm in the store, I have to change my schedule. So Mondays and Tuesdays, I'm in the kitchen, chopping up vegetables, and I'm cooking, putting my beans in. I eat a lot of beans. But that's my protein, and I love beans. I eat a lot of mushrooms. I make my beans, my black bean burgers. I'm chopping up, putting everything in a food processor, making my burgers, putting them in the air fryer. I rarely cook things on the stove anymore because I love this air fryer. Oh, best purchase ever. I am going to sell I love you, but I'm going to sell this air fryer that you bought me. It's the circular one, brand new. I'm going to sell it because I know that I love my Ninja air fryer. That was the best purchase ever. Someone told me they don't like an air fryer. I'm not even going to ask them why, because I love my air fryer. I do. But I make a lot of beans. I cook a lot of things on Monday and Tuesday. So that way I have food. So that way when I go to the gym and I come home late, sometimes I heat up my food before I go to the gym. So that way, hey, it's in my little container. After I come out from the sauna, I'm hungry. Let me get a few spoonfuls. Yes, I still eat with a spoon like I'm in Africa. Let me get a few spoonfuls. So that way I ate a little bit. I'll eat the rest when I get home, but I won't stop and get something to eat. We have to try to trick our minds. You're welcome, Antoinette. I gave you a little bit. Lonzo gave you a little bit. He said that's the pesticides. So we have to share this. You know, there are people that are afraid to say anything when it comes to fitness and nutrition because they're afraid of being judged. I don't know this. How many people won't go to the gym and lift weights because they're like, oh, all these people look like they know what they're doing. Not all of them know what they're doing, honey. And when you go to the gym, just so you know, you can always ask the people at the desk, hey, how do you use this? Now, they told me, oh, the picture's on there. Okay, I could read, but I need help. That's what they're there for. That's what they're there for. So don't ever feel intimidated or think it's someone. Okay, that's not going to be cool. Thinking someone knows more than than you know. It's okay. Where is this plug at? Okay, so I thought it was plugged up over there, but evidently it's plugged up over here. So, all right. I'm about to get off because the sun is going down anyway. Is that better, y'all, or is it worse? Oh, I'll keep it like this. I think the light is better. Y'all let me know. Let me know. Yeah, I think the light is better. It's getting too dark. So I feel like we should share more. I really do feel like we should share more. I want to move this light so bad, but I'm not going to because I'm almost done. Okay, so, ooh, she said she loved quinoa. See, I'm a fat girl. Now we sitting here talking about food. Alexis, quinoa. I do. I like quinoa sometimes, but you know what I've been using? Bulgur wheat. I had bulgur wheat in a what is that? Those dinners, healthy. Dang, what are they called? Those boxes that you can buy. Healthy Fresh, Hello Fresh. And I had bulgur wheat in a tabbouleh bowl. Girl, I went to the African store and found me some bulgur wheat. Yeah. She said, you're making me hungry. As you can see, I told you I'm hungry. I haven't eaten. Queen Jata, hello, sister. All right. So stop it, sis. Laugh out loud. So I'm going to finish these comments and then I'm going to finish the movie. They made him take the shots. Then he got a blood clot, then a stroke. Oh, Jamie Foxx. That's he got the vax. He got the vaccinations. I'm not even going to touch that one. I'm not going to touch that one. They need to be more educated about us because we educate ourselves about them. Yeah, I think both ways. I think it goes both ways, Miriam. I do. I think it goes both ways because you know how I love my African brothers and sisters. So I'm speaking from experience, right? I love my African brothers and sisters. If I don't talk to them when they come to the States, they just look at me like, and these are come from different countries. So I think that there has to be education on both ends, you know. Once I talk to them and I'm like, hi, what's your nationality? How you doing, sister? And they looking at me, I'm an American. I said, I know you're an American. I said, but where did you originate from? Where were you born? Right? And they're like, oh, I'm from blah, blah, blah. Oh, I'm from blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, okay, I've been to Namibia. I studied abroad, right? That was before I've been to the Gambia. Now I'm like, I tell them I've been to the Gambia, I've been to Namibia, I've been this place, I've been that place, right? And they're like, oh, really? And they talk to me. But if we don't try to talk to each other, we have this prejudgment. Oh, I know them. Oh, I know this. I know that. And then we just, there's a disconnect. And then we're hating each other for what? You know? That's true because we fear what we don't know or understand. And we've been taught to fear to go to Africa. That's why I called back and spoke to spoke on I have no idea where this plug is, y'all. Oh wait, here it is. Okay. Bring it around. Bring it around. There we go. I knew it was plugged in over here. There we go. Oh, that looks even worse. Oh man, that looks even worse. Now I look like I'm in a horror movie. I really look like I'm in a horror movie. Okay, let me put it back. Okay. All right. It is what it is, y'all. It is what it is. Oh man, that's why my apartment, I don't get any natural light. This is why when I build my home, I'm going to make sure that I get natural light because I don't get any natural light. It just makes me so mad. But having that light on the floor, it made me look like I was in a horror movie. Okay, so let's finish up this movie, y'all. Purple Love says, that's because we fear what we don't understand. And I feel like we should share more. Our continental African brothers and sisters shouldn't be afraid to speak to us and talk to us and vice versa. Everyone is not going to be receptive, and that's okay, right? If they're not receptive, then you keep it moving. I speak to African American people here in Arizona, and they try to act like they don't know me. I'm like, hey, hi, how you doing? Hello, sister. Hi, brother. Right? I make them speak to me. Dang on it. Right? So everyone is not going to be receptive, but we have to start somewhere. We can't continue to let our people just go down this off the cliff. We see them about to fall off the cliff and we're just like, we're not saying anything. Hey, the cliff is there. We're not saying anything. So where did I stop off at? Okay. So it was the perm. They found the bodies. Okay, so they were in the lab. Back to the movie, y'all. I'm finishing up. Back to the movie. They were in the lab and they were like, we saw the girl that was missing. So Tiana Parrish was like, okay, I'm going to tell the news. So she said something to the Post, right? And yeah, next thing you know, now this was crazy. Tiana walking around incognito, as I say, right? She walking around incognito. So the other streetwalker that always say, I'm trying to go back to college, right? She's trying to get money. I'm trying to go back to college. That was so funny. She kept saying she's trying to go back to college. So she saw Tiana. Girl, where you been? Tiana tried to act like she didn't know her. Whatever. So long story short, this SUV, I think it was like a Escalade, black SUV, comes and kidnaps Tiana off the street. Now Tiana is in the lab where I told you the girl that was in there that was on the missing poster. So I guess she didn't conform. When people don't conform, they either end up dead or missing. So the streetwalker, now Tyrone goes back to his regular life. I can't do anything about it, right? Because he was messed up at the fact that that man was able to control him with words. I think that really messed him up. So he wakes up, and now he's questioning everything. He's questioning his reality. Right? So he goes and he knocks on his mother's door. Lord Jesus. The mother says, I'm watching my stories, baby, or something. One of the things that she always says. He said, Ma, I want to see you. Can you open the door? I think he never even realized that because he was so brainwashed and so engulfed in the cloning worked. because they don't only clone you, they're putting they're having you watch videos, so they are brainwashing you to put in the clone how they want you to think and what they want you to focus on, right? So he was just in the motion of doing everything that he does the same day. I was like, oh, my sweet baby Jesus. So he's like, Mom, open the door. You know, I want to see you. I haven't seen you. Da, da, da. Oh, baby, I went to the fish fry. Now she's answering questions that he didn't even say. She's saying things that he never said. He done broke the damn door down. It was a recording. His mother wasn't even real. So now he's like, okay, all right, we got to do something about this. He went off in the room, broke everything, because now it's coming to him that this is not who he's supposed to be. He's cloned. This is not his reality. So now he goes to see Jamie Foxx. Jamie just back to the nonsense. Jamie ain't bathed in weeks, right? Or days, right? Jamie all messed up, right? Because he messed up because he's like, damn, I'm more than a pimp. But what can we do? They kept saying, well, what can we do? It's nothing we can do, right? So they go out on the streets and they see the streetwalker that always say, I'm going back to college. Ask them about Tiana. She wanted money. So they gave her money. Right? They gave her money. So she was like, yeah, she out here, got this hat on, looking trying to not be noticed, looking incognito, blah, blah, blah. But in her talking, she says something about she must have got a John because they picked her up in this nice truck, whatever. He was like, what kind of truck? Because in the beginning, Tyrone saw that truck. He saw the truck when he came back cloned. He saw that truck. So he started seeing stuff he just didn't know. So now him and Jamie Foxx are brainstorming because they're looking all over for her and they can't find her. So they know, I guess they have a feeling that she's been kidnapped because she wasn't going to stop. She had these Nancy Drew books. So I think it was Nancy Drew. So he said, what would Nancy do? They had comedy in there. It was really funny. What would Nancy do? Because they all fell asleep. And that's when Tyrone got his goons. Because he was trying to get them to do something. And they wasn't going to do anything. So they was like, oh, let's just go to sleep. Da, da, da. They wake up, Tyrone gone. He got his goons and he went back to the trap house. And that's when it was a family house. It wasn't the trap house anymore. So Tyrone and Jamie Foxx are brainstorming. So Jamie, cause before they came out to go look for her, I guess Tyrone was able to talk Jamie into, look, we got to do something about this. Jamie let me go put on my pimp clothes. I got to take me a shower, right? So he's back into himself now, right? So they're outside on the car and they're talking. So Jamie I got an idea, but you ain't going to like it. You ain't going to like it. I love the way they did the ending though. So I'm trying to stay on track, y'all, because my mind wants to go to different parts in the movie. So he's like, you're not going to like this. It was trippy, Alexis. Oh my gosh, this movie is so good. So he's like, you're not going to like it. Tyrone, they didn't show us what was happening. They didn't show us the plan. They just showed us what happened. Now, they paid somebody to go and talk crap to the guy that originally shot Tyrone and killed him, right? So Tyrone goes over there. He's talking to him. He's like, we need to do. So he tells him about what they were doing in the lab. He was like, so you telling me there's some Bill Nye science guy, this, that, and the third. So the dude is making jokes about it, right? So they're going back and forth. And he didn't believe him. The dude that shot Tyrone the first time didn't believe him. Or so we thought. So Tyrone is like, someone came to him, the streetwalker that said, I'm going back to college. She had some pink hair this time. So she's like, yeah, so he said he'll do it for 30,000. He was like, 30,000? That nigga shot me for free last time. That was so funny. He shot me for free last time. So basically what they were doing is they wanted him to appear dead so he can get into the lab, because they weren't letting him, they were looking out for them. They weren't letting them in that lab, but they knew that they had to get in to try to save Tiana. So Tiana talking crap, right? She talking crap. And, oh, Lord. What did they do to her? She had a beautiful natural, like her afro was like out. Tiana got beautiful hair, y'all. If y'all don't know who Tiana Paris is, Google her and Google her natural hair. Her hair is beautiful. During COVID, she was doing her own hair. She was like, but she has a celebrity hairstylist, but she was doing her own hair. Her hair is absolutely naturally beautiful. Here goes. So they started perming her hair. And she saw what the perm, how the perm made them behave. So it was just like she just passed out, right? Now, Tyrone got shot. Now, what's crazy is when the dude shot Tyrone, his body out there in the streets, who came to pick him up? That black truck. Picked him up, put him in the car, put him in the truck, threw a new body out. He wakes up and he's starting the day over, just like Groundhog Day. Now, this is the part that gets a little trippy. I was like, well, okay, well, which one is this? Right? So now it's two Tyrones that's alive. Because the first one, the original one that got shot by the dude, she's Monica Rambeau in the movie The Marvels. You talk about the streetwalker with the pink hair? The one that kept saying, I'm going back to college? Okay, let me know if that's who you're talking about. Oh my goodness, the movie was so good. So there's two Tyrones that's alive because the dude is acting like he's dead. So the dude was like, can you play dead? Right? So, okay, he's in the bag playing dead, and they're cloning him and have these videos going on and this, that, and the third. Once the lab people left, he sits up. Now they about to wreak havoc. And what I did love is all the gangsters came together. Now, some of the stuff they were saying, the dude, he in the security room, like, yeah, Ninja, come down here. We doing this. Da-da-da-da-da. Bring some Henny or something he said. They threw comedy in there, but they got all the gangsters together. They're all in their low riders, all the gangsters together, and they went to this location. And they wreaked havoc on that lab. Now, Tyrone, they released all of the clones. They opened up the tubes and released all the clones. So now the clones walking around, they fighting, the gangsters in there fighting, the lab people scared, right? But Tyrone had, Tiana Paris is in MCU movies, The Marvels. Oh, her name was Monica Rambeau in the movie. Okay. In The Marvels. I don't think I've seen The Marvels. I just know her real name. No, Tiana Paris is in the MCU movies, The Marvels. Oh, I think I've seen previews for that. Yeah, I love Tiana. She ate whatever she wanted during her pregnancy. She enjoyed her best life. And she's taking her time losing her baby weight. So Tyrone ended up fighting the driver that was him. He did end up fighting. I think he fought him. Correct me if I'm wrong. But he saw an old head, an elder. That was him. this man continued to clone himself because he was an elder Tyrone, right? He was an older elder Tyrone. And boy, when I tell you, he was a chocolate color covered Oreo. So I don't even think the elder Tyrone, his brother died. And that is something a memory that he kept and put it into every clone Tyrone. So this Tyrone was a clone. He was never the original. It's weird. It gets a little weird at the end. That's why I said I got to look at the end again. But certain parts. So now, Tyrone, the one that was hanging around with Teyonah Parris, that version, he knew that he was controlled and he couldn't kill certain things and certain people. Okay, she said correct. Thank you, Purple Love. He knew that he couldn't kill certain things and certain people. So it looked like the Tyrone that was the driver is the one that killed the elder Tyrone. Now, imagine looking at TV and you see all these zombies, clone people that look like zombies just walking around. They don't know what's going on. So this was on the news. They had this on the news. So they did release everyone. They ended up killing Kiefer Sutherland some kind of way. I don't remember. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. Kiefer Sutherland was talking big stuff, saying that, oh, you a streetwalker. That's all you are, talking about Teyonah. And he was saying that he was talking down about Jamie Foxx. But he didn't realize that those were just the clothes. Jamie Foxx wasn't laying there. Jamie Foxx killed him. He killed him. He killed Kiefer Sutherland. Took down the whole system. Now, Teyonah Parris said she going to Mississippi. Jamie Foxx said he going with her. Tyrone like, well, I've never been. So they didn't show that, but basically it seemed like they were going to go to Mississippi, live and wreak havoc, right? Start breaking down the system. So we thought the movie was over, and another Tyrone wakes up. Now he's in LA. This is the part that is the most trippiest part, right? He's in LA. He wakes up. He's doing the same thing. There is he's doing the same thing. He get up, put on his clothes. Now he wearing Cali clothes, right? The khakis, the Converses. He goes to the liquor store. He gets his 40. There's another elder alcoholic sitting out there. He pours a little beer in his cup. Comes back to the house with his homies. He's smoking weed. They're looking at the news. He sees they're talking about all these clones and this, that, and the third. Because, okay, that's what it was. Because the clones was nationwide. This is why African people, the way we're behaving is not just centered in one neighborhood or in one state or in one town. No, it's nationwide. I live in Arizona. Shirk live in Dayton, Ohio. And she behaving like this. Anyway, so he's looking at TV with his boys. They see these clones. And who do they see? He sees himself. Tyrone. So now his boy, now say I'm Tyrone, and then my boy is sitting here. And his boy turned and look at him and was like, that's you, Tyrone, or something he said. But basically, and then it went off. So I don't know if there's going to be a part 2. I have no idea. But if you have not seen that movie, when you get a chance, you all, not now because I know it's late. It's 7:30 here, so I know. Yes! How did I forget that part, Cold Tiger? I know it's late in Africa. I know it's late there. It's 2 a.m., 2:30. It's like 10:30 on the East Coast. This was the best part. How did I forget that part, right? Um, an Easter egg when Erica Badu sang the song called Tyrone's, the lyrics changed to the clone Tyrone. Thank you, brother. Okay. I was talking to my friend and I was like, why is it saying sounds like she's saying they clone Tyrone? That's what I thought it said, but I was like, well, maybe I'm tripping. I did tell you I had wine, but thank you for clarifying that. Thank you. Man, I don't know who wrote that movie though. I don't know who wrote it or who was the executive producer, but that movie was everything. So when you all get a chance and you're looking for, if you're a TV watcher and a movie watcher and you're looking for something to watch and you got Netberry, Streamberry, I don't want to say it because I don't want it to be copywritten, but if you have that red in, look at They Clone Tyrone. That movie was everything. And like I said, it just shows why. I mean, it's fictional, it's not true, but who knows if it's true. But it really makes me think about why our people behave the way they behave nowadays in the reality that we're living in. Elon Musk says that this is a illusion. This is a simulation. Sometimes I feel like it is, but yeah. So if you all watch it and you have something to say after you watch it, drop it in the comments of this live, right? Because oh my God, it was everything. And I guarantee you, like I went to go see Black Panther like 5 times, right? The first one. And every time I saw it, I saw something new. So I know when I see this again, I'm going to see something different as well. But I do want to tell you all, I love this experience of talking about this movie. There are 2 other movies that I watched that really, Jesus, it destroyed me. One of them is called Dark October. I don't know if you heard about, it's called Dark October. DARK, October the month. It's based on a true story. It happened in Nigeria. I'm gonna let y'all look that up, but it 4 students were killed over a lie. Over a lie. This is why I go in on Shrek, because you want to sit there and lie. I could have lost my life. But we're gonna talk about that another time. Dark October. Let me put that in the comments. Purple Love says, you know how we always say you can only see this in the hood. Certain things you will only see in the hood. And honestly, other people can watch this movie, but because we are African American and we know certain things about our culture and our people, we're going to see things that maybe a two-bob won't ever see. Right? We will see things that maybe someone else won't see because that's our culture. A lot of times we look at two-bob movies and they be cracking up. We be like, that's not funny. That's because that's not our culture. We don't understand. And then sometimes with them, they be like, that's not funny. Yeah, but we cracking up because we know. We know. Look at Dave Chappelle, the TV show, The Nigga Family, right? We were dying laughing because of the stuff. He's like, no, y'all got to pay because y'all know y'all niggas don't like to pay, right? Y'all don't like paying your bills, right? Certain things. And whether it's true or not, even if we're laughing at the stereotype, there's certain things that only we will understand. So, yes, I agree with that, Purple Love. Now, I don't know when I'm going to do these videos, but Dark October, right, is one of them. And another one, I'm going to do this one. All the Girls. I think one day I was just watching movies one Saturday. I was just watching movies and I went to the African movies. I saw Dark October. I was like, oh, let me look at this. And when it came on, I was like, oh, this is going to be interesting. I was effed up when I saw that. And it's a true story. It just shows that people shouldn't rely on other people because people can lose their lives. And all the girls, that's basically about um, trafficking and how African children and African people are being trafficked. And you know, Gail at Night, we love you, sister. We love you. We love the research that she does and the information that she shares with us. And she's been showing a lot of missing African American women. That's why, Carly, you shouldn't have did this, sister, because there are people that are really missing. So I hope you get the help that you need, but this is something that you should not have done. And you have your mother and your father in your house. What the hell are they teaching you? The parents, I don't know. Someone said that her lawyer made a deal, so she's going to jail for 2 years. I haven't looked it up. But there are too many things that are going on in our community for us to be lying and making up things. Too many things, too many real things that are affecting our community. And we're out here lying about stupid stuff for what? We're better than this. We are better than this. So when y'all get a chance, watch Dark October and all the girls. Oh, and there's one more. Woo! This one is going to be about skin bleaching, y'all. Strays. All of this is on the streaming network that has the red N. Netberry, Streamberry. I'm going to, when I do the strays, that's going to be based off of skin bleaching, because that is basically about a woman that is African American, but she tries to pass as a tuba. Everybody else knows she's African American, but she the only one that acts like she's a tuba. That movie was crazy too. So thank you so much, you all. It's been 3 hours and 11 minutes. Let me see if I have any notes to close out. I think we're all set. I'm going to go eat. I am starving. Yeah, I think that's it. That is it. So know yourself, love yourself, take care of your nutrition, focus on nutrition, focus on your health, focus on working out. I'm going to bring y'all some fitness videos. Ignore the negativity. Thank you so much to Alexis and Tivani and Chantel Commentary too. Thank you so much for supporting me in that live today. Thank you so much, Afia in Africa, for supporting me in that live on Dynasty Amir. We know the truth. Continue to send me prayers, light, love, and positivity. But I can tell you all that sooner or later, this is going to come to an end as well. That's why that person was on there deflecting, cutting me off, trying to lie, this, that, and the third. They don't want the truth to come out. But we know the truth will always prevail. The truth will always prevail. Antoinette Forbes, thank you so much, sister, for the super chat, the super sticker. I love you so much. I appreciate you. May God bless you, your family, and everything you touch. Thank you, everyone that joined and in the live and commented and made it so it was a conversation and not a monologue. But you all always do that. I thank you so much. I love you. Nala Fananjama, which means sleep in peace. Until the next video. Take care.